It's been an exhausting journey just to get in here. And now we're heading out with the dogs at night. See what we can catch. It's getting a little bit crazy. We're heading straight up. It's just boulders and rocks. Okay, we're right on top of something, but whether or not we can actually get to it's another story. I'm Les Stroud. I'm in Madagascar on a mission to seek out the true masters of survival. Some of the last indigenous tribes from around the world.
Before they're gone. Before the past is lost. Before their world vanishes. I can learn their ways.
Separated from the coast of East Africa some 165 million years ago, Madagascar is the world's 4th largest island. I'm here to learn from 2 of the tribes on the island, the Antanosy, who live on the extreme southern coast, and the Antanosy, who live in the remote interior. The Antanosy live in huts along the coastline, living life between sand dunes and ocean. They're strong and tough, but survival is becoming a struggle for the Antanosy as they battle drought from deforestation and overfishing from illegal fishing boats. From the water's edge, I'll journey to the southeastern interior of Madagascar. Across rough roads and wet mud to find the Antanosy tribe. Antanosy means people of the island. Invited to live in their rural village, I'll hunt with wild dogs and take part in an ancient tribal tradition of seed reading performed by local shamans, to learn of the connection between spirituality and survival. It's my first day with the Antanosy tribe in their village called Ijiki. It's early morning and already the sun is scorching hot. The winds are strong and the ocean swells are cresting close to 20 feet.
I can't tell whether this is bait or dinner.
Without fresh water, life jackets, or supplies, we're heading out towards the open sea. The Antanosy speak a mixture of French combined with their local tribal dialect. But in these strong winds, communication will mostly be made by hand gestures. Their brute physical strength is obvious and an important and necessary survival tool to navigate the open sea.
This is crazy. I had no idea we were coming right out into the open ocean. As far as I knew, we were just going beyond the small reef. These guys are out here, no fear. We got 20-foot swells, no fear at all. Out we go. I can't say I've ever been out in swells this big and a boat this small before.
We've got to paddle in swells past the coral reef to reach the bigger fish in deeper waters. My job is to cast the homemade fishing line out to the sea and hopefully bring in some bounty. They have a reason to be wary here. Fishermen have drowned in rough waves and unexpected storms.
All right. As soon as I look down and concentrate on working the line and trying to get this set up and even trying to work my camera, I end up getting seasick, go figure. Okay, so now it's all about not puking and looking like a greenhorn.
Beneath us, the bounty of the ocean is not what it once was, and these fishermen have to travel for many hours in rough and treacherous seas just to get to better fishing areas to simply feed their families. They don't have TV sets and radios to learn of offshore illegal fishing by other countries. They only know their fish are disappearing, and they would much rather see me bring in a good catch than give in to the inevitable truth. It's getting harder for them to live as they have for thousands of years. We've only been out here a couple of hours, but the men decide to turn back. It's been a lot of work and a lot of calories burned, with nothing in return. But this is the price of living off the land, or in this case, the open sea. Disappointed, we return to the village, empty-handed.
It's pretty much a bust, which is the reality of hunting, fishing. You never guaranteed anything. 20-foot swells and no luck. In the evenings, the women will cook, keep the fires going. The men will start to make things to prepare for fishing or hunting or whatever they're doing for the next day, and that's what we're going to do now. This is like anything in survival. In the survival of this village and survival of these people, there are slow, tedious things that must be done. Things like making a fish net. You know, I've made nets where I've had to untwine old thick rope to smaller rope, make a net out of that or rope out of it, and it's no different. It takes a long time, and you've got to put your mind to it. That's how you catch fish later.
Schooling here is almost non-existent, and there's a shortage of teachers. Children from the village have to walk miles to the nearest school. Most stay home to learn to live off the sea, feed livestock, and weave nets like their fathers and grandfathers did before that. The Antandui's ability to adapt to a changing external environment is key to their continued survival.
Survival within a small village like this comes down to what have you got within hand's reach that you can make use of, that you can get food or water with. And I guess unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, plastic is becoming readily available, especially when you're connected to an ocean. A lot of stuff floats in. It's a sad comment, but it's also a testament to their tenacity of survival.
As the first night passes, I'll sleep out on a sand dune. The ocean can always send in a storm, so they feel obliged to teach me how to make my own shelter. Tomorrow will take only a day to build a house.
It's morning time in the village here. They had a hurricane come through last year, wiped out a few huts. And they need to build new. For them, what that means is gathering from way out there. They'll go for a long ways with their cows and a little cart and bring back the supplies they need. They've pretty much done most of that for the building they want to build, but I'm going to go out and help them get the last few pieces. And we're going to put a hut together so that I've got a place to sleep. These people got to get used to just living with sand in pretty much everything. It's in everything, it's on everything. I imagine they don't even notice it anymore. Bottom of their feet, they don't seem as flattened out, and they don't even look actually as tough and as hardened as a lot of the jungle people that I might have spent some time with, but nonetheless, they step on a lot of spines, so they've got to be fairly tough.
This is a sisal tree. You can find it around the world, in the Caribbean islands, Brazil. It's even been planted in Florida. Its fibers are tough and durable when broken down, creating the perfect twine or rope for building the hut. It's also resistant to deterioration from salt water, which will protect the family from ocean spray and stormy weather.
In order to work on the hut, they told me I must be up the crack of dawn and meet with them. Once you start to get around 10 o'clock in the morning, the sun's just way too hot. Even these people here will stop working, take a break. There's a reason why the siesta was invented.
Logging of the Madagascar rainforest began heavily in the 1980s, and local tribes feel the effect in the form of drought today. The lack of rainfall is directly linked to decreased forest cover when the baobab trees are cut down. With no rain and no forest cover to protect the land from strong ocean winds, coastal sand dunes are creeping steadily inland, turning once fertile soil into desert.
This plant is sisal, and it's they grow it in crops all around here and sell it. Well, not these people, industry does. There's a massive sisal farm. Okay? Okay. Not far from here. And they wiped out what was originally a massive forest of baobab trees to make the farm.
I'm on the extreme southern coast of Madagascar, living and learning from the Antanosy people. It's only mid-morning, but already the sun is scorching hot. We've gathered all the materials needed to make a new hut for me to sleep in the village. Construction is simple, but we have to hurry to get it done before we get hit by the heat of midday. We'll construct it right here on the beach and after I leave, a family of 4 or even 6 will use this hut as their coastal home.
A classic carpenter, smoke in the mouth, working away on the joint.
The Madagascar coastline can be pummeled by strong winds, sudden cyclones, and even hurricanes, so the foundation has to be dug deep for strength.
Never dug a foundation by hand before.
It seems like every man in the village has come to help put up the hut.
You know what happens when you get too many carpenters.
It's always interesting to me to see that every society, except perhaps my own, tends to have a community approach to building someone a home, even for an outsider like me.
That's a hammer. Definitely the apprentice today. Surprised they're not sending me just to go grab the nails.
But there would be no nails in this hut. Simple bindings and lashings, as well as snug-fitting pieces of wood, are all that's needed to make a home on this remote ocean coastline.
The heat for all of us is getting extremely intense. Even for these guys, they don't like building in the middle of the day. We got the roof, it's just about done. Work a little bit longer on it, and then finish it off when the cools off a little bit. Wow. And I gotta stop or I'm gonna get heat stroke. That's intensely hot.
A few more hours of work, some cloud cover rolls in, and a new Antanosy house is complete.
Yeah, that looks awesome. So we're closed in. Well, we're not watertight yet, but if any luck at all, it won't rain tonight. Let's check it out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. It would have taken them, you know, probably a week or 2 or more to gather all the materials hiking far, but with a bunch of guys on hand, one day, and you got a little mini hut. To them, a house, and that's gonna be awesome. Well, the roof's not leak-proof just yet, but and there are lots of clouds coming in. Hopefully it won't rain tonight. We'll get through this fine. In this heat, the rain will be very cool, though. All right, time to celebrate.
A new hut is not completed until there's a celebration, and the entire village gathers to honor the men's hard work during the day. The people of Madagascar are known around the globe for their musical nature, cheerful songs, and dance troupes. Not only used as entertainment, their songs tell the stories of their unique tribal history, passed down from generation to generation. One way to keep the culture alive.
It's morning, and it's actually not a bad night sleeping here at all. It's nice and quiet, waves lull you to sleep. There's people stretched out, sleep on the sand, some of them in their huts, some of them outside, kids just laying around, but they're slowly waking up. Bugs aren't bad at all. There's seemingly no biting bugs, even though there's a lot of malaria here, except in the last couple of minutes. All of a sudden I'm inundated with flies, but otherwise, got a slow, easy morning here.
The village of Ajiki has a widely spread out population of 16,000, with only 2% claiming any employment. For most young men, fishing is the only way to earn an income.
For these people, survival is definitely a community affair. You know, one person's good at one thing, one person is good at another thing, but they've got to come together as groups if you're going to survive in a village like this, if you're going to survive at all out in harsh environments. They all work together, whether it's building a hut or getting out and net fishing.
The Antanosy make every tool by hand, even their net-making tools. They learn alone or with friends, starting around 15 or 16 years of age. Most young men also work a second job as a farmer. To fish or cultivate land are the only two options. Here we're carving a tool called a zitai, used to wind in and cast out the fishing line.
Ah, okay. Okay. Zitai. All right. Whew. Done. Now we just have to make a net, which is only going to take 2 weeks. And then we can go fishing.
I'm on the remote southern coast of Madagascar. I'm with the Antanosy people preparing to go fishing by freediving.
They don't have access to just buying snorkels and things, so they make snorkels and masks and flippers out of just garbage found on the beach. Beaches everywhere in the world, garbage, especially plastic and rubber, is strewn upon it, and they make use of it to build items for survival, like snorkels.
With fish populations decreasing, the men must dive deeper and deeper to make a catch. Making dive masks, which they call maski, is an example of their ability to adapt to the encroaching modern civilization.
In some ways, it's got to seem like easy pickings for them to find rubber and plastic along the shoreline and be able to manufacture it into things that they can use. It's a lot easier than hiking for many, many miles and having to dig out roots and make rope out of plants. Life on the ocean and survival on the ocean is always easier than deeper inland. The ocean has been giving up bounty for thousands of years. First it was natural bounty, now it's unnatural bounty. It's still usable. Positive bent on a sad story, I guess.
Really? They did that fast. There you go. That's working the rubber with the hot knife. All right. Time to go use it.
The Antanosy's method of fishing with the net requires strong swimming skills, deep lungs, and a lot of luck. A phrase among fishermen here is, "It depends on the sea." And asking for the luck and grace of the gods is a common local tradition. Running the net out to its full length, we paddle beyond the break wall of reef and set anchor. Jumping in the water, we swim another 75 yards and slap the water to scare the fish towards the net. Next, we free dive 20 to 40 feet down to scare the marine life out of the coral and weeds on the ocean floor. The Antanosy fishermen know where to find and how to target different species of ocean life, whether it's fish, sea urchins, snails, crabs, or sharks. Each species requires a different method and tool, but lobster is the most valuable catch.
We got 2 of these guys. 2 lobsters. Yeah. That's the reality of fishing. You just never know what kind of luck you're going to have, or if you're going to have any luck at all. In this case, it's a bit of time, putting the net out, a couple of men using the boat, diving down. It's a lot of calories expended, but we wound up with 2 of these babies. So it's a sweet deal today, and sometimes it's nothing. These are nasty little spikes here. And you gotta be really careful how you catch these things, because they'll spike right into your hand.
There are fewer and fewer lobster to catch, and a few thousand mouths to feed. It took 5 men, 200 yards of fishing net, and 2 hours of calorie-burning effort just for this tiny catch. And this won't change after I leave this place.
I know this looks like fantastic survival, and it is. But the reality is, on this side of the sand dunes, life is harsh. It's a desert. On that side of the sand dunes, it's the ocean, and it can be bountiful.
The Antanosy are both metaphorically and literally living between 2 worlds. With the ocean supplies dwindling and their farmlands turning to sand, their future is uncertain. Yet they still make time to just be human and express themselves.
Well, I would have thought that there'd be no problem with working off steam, this kind of lifestyle, this kind of survival. But they've asked me to join them this morning because apparently they have other ways of working off steam.
This is Ringa, an ancient wrestling custom that pits man against man in a friendly but serious competition of physical strength and skill. Participants have been known to walk up to 2 days from outlying villages to compete for the winning prize of local currency or goods. And with that prize, the winner could purchase better fishing tools or badly needed medical supplies, usually for malaria. The big thing about the match is the taunting. a wrestler announces his chosen opponent by giving him a scarf to tie around his waist, and then the taunting goes back and forth until it's time to enter the ring. The object then is to get the opponent on his back. It's a simple challenge of strength and agility, and I wasn't going to get away with just spectating. The largest and strongest of the Ajiki villagers challenges me to show him what I'm made of. The heat hasn't taken so much out of me that I can't give him a ride for his money. I may be smiling, but I mean as much business as he does. Customs like these tell me much about the nature of the Antanosy people. Maintaining enthusiasm and a friendly competitive spirit while surrounded by a harsh landscape and adversity. All the while facing an uncertain future. I'm with the Antanosy tribe of southern Madagascar. After 2 failed fishing trips, the villagers are showing me an easier and more sure way to scare up a meal. Night hunting with torches along the reef. But the first step is simply to build the torch.
As much as they feel that their survival is tied in with the ocean and 80% of their food comes from the ocean, there's still all of the spillover from the land, what they need from the land to be able to harvest from the ocean. I think we found what we're looking for here. It's crazy. In all kinds of survival, it's the reality of how far you have to travel sometimes for one little item is often missed. The journeys can be very far. So, if you want to make a torch, we got a long way to go into the Madagascar desert. I think that strikes me with these people in Madagascar is how incredibly fit they are. They all look like lightweight boxers, if you ask me. Hey. Hey.
Fishing by night is my next challenge. And there are no stores here that I can run out to and buy a torch from.
The tree's full of sap. You can see it in the wood. It's also very hard. It's like chopping stone. Okay, so that's what's working for this particular tree is it's full of sap. So we're just going after the chunks here because the sap will keep the branches burning for using them as torches.
A few hours later, and we're back at the ocean, getting ourselves set up for night fishing. Torches used by people living off the land are simply a bundle of material that holds a flame. Similar to most survival torches, fine fibers are found in the middle, and coarser fibers are at the outside of the fire bundle. The sapwood acts like a wick within the torch, allowing it to burn longer and stronger throughout the night and keep it from blowing out in the wind. Binding all the materials together, we set flame to the tip and will soon begin our hunt. The tide is out, so whatever bounty that might be there is now exposed for an easy catch. The method of torch fishing is very basic. Walk along the reef at low tide with your torch lit and grab the sea creatures with your hands. Lobster, fish, and crayfish can be found hiding in these reefs, but you've got to be careful. Their spiny shells and sharp pinchers can easily slice open a finger or hand. Normally not a big deal, except out here, there's no hospital or doctor, so a simple infection can take hold and kill. And there's plenty of poisonous creatures in the reef.
See that? Looks like it's just a baby eel. There he goes, disappears.
This reef is essentially their grocery store. Both adults and kids alike come out here not for a quick treat, but rather out of the necessity to feed their families. The Antanosy are experts at snatching up these defensive creatures, an example of their quick reflexes and adept survival skills.
Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're out here for. For these guys, lobsters. I tried to go, and he stopped me from doing it. Said, it's just don't even try. These things, we've got a couple of different pinchers, a couple of different spikes, and if you don't know just how to grab them, you saw how quickly he went in and grabbed them, and you get your hand stabbed. We got dinner. Now we eat, finally.
Here in what is considered a remote part of the ocean,
Oh, didn't like that.
the ocean bounty is thinning out, and the fishermen have to travel farther every year to simply feed their families.
It doesn't get any fresher than that when it comes to lobster. That's about it. It's as simple as that. Just, head out and just like a dinner table served up with this massive reef out there. You just go out when the water's low, walk along, and look in all the holes. And sooner or later, you come up with a crab, a bunch of lobster. I'm sure on big nights, they probably grab a couple of dozen lobster. Tough thing about tonight is it's actually a bright full moon, and that makes for the worst lobster catching of all. So he said it was going to be tough when we get out there. When we found one, we wouldn't have starved.
Hold on here. That was well worth it. That's survival food.
The Antanosy have taught me what it's like for pure survival out here. Some sort of crazy hybrid of harsh desert survival and bountiful ocean. But now, I'm going to head further inland to another group of people in Madagascar that concern themselves much more with ceremony. There's a lot of black magic in this country, and ceremony. And I want to find out how some of that touches the people and their lives and enables their survival.
I leave the coast and begin my journey inland. Part of the difficulty of reaching these tribes is the lack of good roads. It'll take 2 days of driving to get to the village of Tishaagna, the remote and isolated home of the Antanosy tribe. Known as the people of the island, the Antanosy are widely regarded as the traditional healers, possessing great knowledge of the rare medicinal plants that only grow in southern Madagascar. I have to travel through small villages, herds of cattle, and inevitably tropical downpours. This, after all, is the rainy season. These rural villages rarely get travelers passing through, and everywhere I go, the villagers stop and stare. As I climb higher into the mountain ridges, the villages become few and far between, until eventually the roads seem to disappear altogether.
So that's the deal. Just to get started, we gotta go across the river here. No problem for the kids, apparently. The Madagascar kids, they go across this every day, probably. Problem is, when I get to the other side, if it does come on to rain tonight, this river can go up a few feet real quickly, and I'm not coming back. Start a new life with the people of Madagascar.
Ancestor worship is considered the most important part of the Malagasy culture.
This is what I call gravestones. These are the gravestones of the Madagascar people. There are places where they actually paint the rocks as well, paint the rocks with the life story of the person who died, but these are just rough and rugged because we're way out in the hills right now. Of course, they had to work all this stone without any machineries.
Gravestones like these can be found throughout Madagascar and are considered to be sacred spiritual sites.
This is it now. It's the rainy season in Madagascar. It's going to be a heck of a hike further into this valley to get to the people I'm trying to get to. Now, these people are a lot more, say, interested in ceremony than the people on the coast, where it's more just about survival. That said, the first thing they want to do when they get me in there is to go out hunting with them.
Apparently tonight's the night and they don't want to miss it.
The Antanosy like to hunt with 1 or 2 dogs, and they go after just about anything, from small mammals to flushing out various species of deer.
Okay, so this is the deal. By the time I was able to make it in to their little village in the middle of the hills and valleys here, it was already nighttime and pouring rain. It's been an exhausting journey just to get in here. And now we're heading out with the dogs at night. See what we can catch. See what survival of the Antanosy is like.
I'm told whatever we catch tonight, we won't eat right away. We'll return to the village to share the feast with the rest of the tribe. "92% of the reptiles found in Madagascar exist naturally nowhere else on Earth."
La petak.
La pita.
La petak.
La pita. Yeah. Oh.
Easy.
Oh. Okay. We just halted on the hillside here, and the dog's off doing his thing, trying to scare up a tenrak, some kind of small mammal that they eat. Night hunting with dogs. Tenraks.
The reason for doing this hunt is to earn their respect, to allow me to participate in their seed ceremony.
It's getting a little bit crazy. We're heading straight up. It's just boulders and rocks, thick vegetation. All because apparently the dogs might have spotted something up here, or maybe not. But we're actually boulder climbing in the dark here now. Okay, we're right on top of something, but whether or not we can actually get to it's another story. The dogs have hauled up here, and he's looking at a couple of holes in the ground. See what we can find. Hey! There we go. The dogs were successful after all. They were laughing because they were standing right over top of it the whole time trying to find it. The dogs do the business, and it's still warm, and dinner.
After catching what's called a tenrak, the morning brings with it the promise of my involvement in a seed ceremony.
Well, night of rain over with. We are headed out to gather sap for the ceremony. The Antanosy primarily survive through farming, so ceremony to them becomes important and an integral part of what they do in their daily lives. We've got about an hour hike to get out into the hills here and gather some of the sap that we need for the ceremony. Apparently it's trance-inducing. Walking through mostly rice paddies to get out into the bush area here, which is a lot of the farming that they do. They've got cattle, ducks, various fowl, rice, potato. That's about it. Mostly a farming existence.
A lot of the topography here is very park-like. But for the Antanosy, it's simply a vast open storeroom of useful medicinal plants.
Little guys, eat along the way. Stomach's not really ready for any food, but not bad. The thing about survival in a situation like this for these peoples, eating is either all at once, maybe once a day with the community, with the family, and the rice or the duck or whatever it is they're going to eat. Or it's a matter of little bits of food here and there as they travel along. If you can graze while you're traveling, you keep putting nutrition into your body. It's a good thing. Okay, finally after hiking up the hill, and I do mean hiking up the hill, check this out. We've finally made it to the tree. Of course, we asked. It was a flat hike and it'll only take a few minutes. Well, nothing flat about this hike. It's a straight climb up. Very steep hill past a bunch of boulders. So. Anyway, this is the tree here. This tree's called a harami. We need to pick up some of this dried sap here. Same sort of process you might have anytime you're gathering sap from a tree. They'll come here and they'll cut it. They'll let it, they'll wound the tree, let it ooze out and bleed, and then that will become solid later. And this is later now, basically coming back and able to pick up the sap we need for the ceremony.
Sometimes shamans have their own trees for harvesting the materials needed for performing ceremonies and communicating with their ancestors. And sometimes they'll share certain trees when they know the bounty is good.
The sap of this tree is burned as incense, meant to keep the bad spirits away, keep peace in the ceremony going. So we're gonna need this. It's kind of bizarre. Going to one jungle and be taught how to get sap from a tree for poisoning fish, and it's white sap. Touch it to your eye, you could go blind. Really, really cautious about it. Come here, another tree, white sap, and we're just handling it like nobody's business and nothing said about it. So I'll just have to hope it's safe. He's gathered up some other plants along the way here as well.
The Antanosy rely almost exclusively on plants for treating illness and spirit possession. They say the healings work because of the strength of the plant medicines.
We've done a long hike, straight uphill, back downhill, just to get a bit of sap and a few leaves. Anyway, now we head back, start the ceremony.
I'm in rural Madagascar, about to partake in an ancient seed ceremony. I'm not sure of all I'm about to take in. All I know is that a seer will perform a ceremony to protect me, and then perform a second ceremony that's meant to put me in a trance.
This is just simply presenting them with what they need to perform the ceremony, white robes.
This ceremony is an important happening for everyone in the village. As they say, it's big medicine.
This traditional healer, he's called a Baskiti, and the ceremony is called Skiti. Now, Baskiti, it's believed that he has the gift to be able to read the seeds, and the gift is passed down from generation to generation, father to son. Sometimes it also skips a generation. It can go from grandfather to grandson. Same situation with the women.
The purpose of the seed reading is to communicate with the Malagasy ancients. The lives of traditional Malagasy people are determined by connecting with the spirit world. When and who to marry, where to live, when to plant crops. All individual decisions are made following consultation with the ancients through the Baskiti. It's the Baskiti's gift to interpret the message through the seeds. Seeds are placed in columns from north to south to represent aspects of a person's life that was affected by illness, unhappiness, or regret. Opening a portal to the spirit world can be dangerous. The incense, the mixture, and the actions are all designed to protect me. Each element he puts in the pan carries with it its own energy force, and he begins to pray. Outside the hut, in honor of the seed ceremony, the duck and the tenrak we caught while hunting are being prepared for a ceremonial feast. Before the women shamans even enter the hut, where I and the other shaman await, they already begin to go into a trance. The music, the chanting, and the percussion will all become trance-inducing and seemingly endless. For hours and hours, they won't quit, stopping only for a moment now and then to ingest pure cane alcohol or smoke tobacco. The ceremony that's designed to protect me and send me into my own trance is starting to appear more like black magic. What happens now and where I go, I can't say. It's not a lucid dream, and for the first few hours I feel nothing. But then, just when the shaman was feeling that I couldn't be tranced, it comes over me like a wave. The music that was at first simply annoying starts to vibrate through my body, and I leave myself. The shamans intensify their own trances. This feeling can't be described. Black magic, voodoo, white magic, trancing, communication with the ancients. It all comes together in a crazy, semi-dark, spiritual hybrid. Perhaps sometime later, I'll remember it all in a dream. Perhaps it'll come to me in a trance I have yet to partake in. Or perhaps only the ancients and the spirits will ever know where I went.
He's in a trance. He cannot hear me. He cannot You move and sit facing the east. You sit facing the east.
Is it voodoo? The mysterious plant mixture? The effects of the tree sap? Or is it the ancients themselves, the forefathers of these unique and courageous tribes people who inspired my journey beyond this realm? Madagascar has proven wilder, more difficult, and more awe-inspiring than I had imagined. But perhaps I've taught them something too, reminded them their skills are not forgotten, their ingenuity and strength a lesson to us all. The next generation will undoubtedly face greater challenges. Maybe the ancients have the answers, and maybe the next generation will be willing to ask the questions. I'm not here just as a filmmaker, but as a participant in something bigger, something more profound than what camera technology can capture. Their goal was to infuse me with their own sense of spirit, power, and understanding of this world, to dream a new dream beyond survival. Located at the top of Baffin Island in Canada's high Arctic is a small Inuit community called Pond Inlet. The tenacity and resilience of the Inuit culture is shaped by the unforgiving Arctic landscape. That may sound like a cliché, but to the people here, there's nothing cliché about it. Barren, cold, and isolated, each year Pond Inlet plunges into near total darkness for months, before slowly emerging into the blinding light of early spring. Can the Inuit culture survive, or will assimilation into the new world wipe out the skills of the past that are still needed to sustain life in this majestic, beautiful, but foreboding landscape? Survival here requires a deep knowledge of the land, the ability to read the snow for signs of life, and the skies for approaching storms. I'm here to test my skills on the land, so before there's time to reconsider, I'll leave the tiny village of Pond Inlet and head out to the vast and powerful environment known simply as the Arctic. I'm in the hamlet of Pond Inlet. This is basically the northern tip of Baffin Island. I've got two Inuit guides that are going to take myself and my cameraman. We've got a couple of 100 miles to go by snow machine, pulling these Comatic sleds to go on a caribou hunt. The Inuit here, it's like going to the grocery store, except it's 150 miles away. And you could get stuck in a blizzard. first part of my journey may look like a joyride on snowmobiles, but with incredibly low temperatures and nowhere to stop to take refuge, traveling can be long and arduous. Still, what once took many days by dog sled, pulling heavy sleds with food, fuel, and emergency gear, should now only take us 24 hours of non-stop riding. But the first stop in this vast Arctic grocery store is to get some of the purest fresh water known to man.
This is a perfect blend of the old meeting the new. Come over here and chip off a piece of ice that's thousands of years old. That'll do. The Inuit know that the ice from the icebergs just make the best tea. They drink a lot of tea here. Everywhere else on the planet right now, in most of the moderate temperature world, people have their shirts off and the grass is starting to grow. And here, winter still has its icy grip on the land. It's late April, and it can still be very bitterly cold up here.
My guides swear by eating raw meat is the only way to stay warm internally.
We've got another 12 hours of riding across the ocean and then into these hills in search of caribou. It's a long, long trek, but it's worth it if we come back with a few caribou and a few seal.
Caribou. The image itself is utterly romantic, and for thousands of years it meant survival to the Inuit. By now, the stories of caribou disappearing in the Arctic is old news. Industry says there's plenty, so no need to worry, let them dig their mines. But the people of the land say there's much fewer, and traveling to get them is not only a longer process, it's becoming more difficult. And the buzzword of why this is happening is the ubiquitous global warming.
Half of this journey was on the ocean and it was brutal. The other half is here on the land and it's only going to get harder. It's a long way to go just to get a bit of food.
The Comatic sleds are loaded with our survival gear and the snowmobiles struggle against the heavy load.
We couldn't make it up. We tried, but the load's just too heavy. So we got stuck there, even with me on the back, give them extra weight. But this Comatic is holding the load, so the other rider will come back. We'll try getting up this hill with two machines. It's a long journey in. Got to push the sled now, just like getting the car stuck. There we go.
We got it. Hopefully they'll come back for me. Otherwise, this is going to be a whole new show.
The noise and smell of the snow machine stands in stark contrast to the majestic beauty that surrounds us. But this beautiful landscape offers up challenges even when the sun is shining.
This is not good. Middle of the Arctic and we're broke down.
That's life in the north, fixing snowmobiles.
People have been known to have had to walk for a week after their snow machine broke down, and some have perished in the process. Don't let the sunshine fool you. This is a deadly landscape. Beautiful, but deadly.
We're seriously stuck now. I bet this never used to happen when they used dogs. At least we have all the food. We look around. Not much here.
In the turn of an hour, this intensely beautiful landscape in the late winter sun could switch to a brutal storm with gale force winds where exposed skin can freeze in seconds. It seems as though we're just inching along, getting stuck every half hour or so.
Let's hope this works. Only 50 miles to go.
I'm in Canada's high Arctic on the north end of Baffin Island, traveling by snowmobile on a caribou hunt, some 150 miles into the interior in search of game. It's been many hours of frigid riding and getting snowmobiles unstuck, but we finally pull into an abandoned diamond mine, slowly being destroyed by the harsh Arctic weather. And no one is claiming ownership on it enough to keep it in good shape. But then why bother? The Inuit are only passing through here en route to hunting and fishing grounds. To them, it's just an easy place to stop without setting up tents or building igloos.
All right, well, I'm all suited up, ready to head out into the cold. This is so totally a moonscape here. It's just an Arctic landscape that is totally indicative of what you would call a barren wasteland, just barren tundra. There's nothing out there, except hopefully some caribou.
It'll be another 5 hours of riding to get closer to where they believe the caribou to be. But we could be setting ourselves up for bitter disappointment. All we're looking for as we ride are the faint and small imprints of tracks in the white snow, or the possible sighting off on some distant hill of the flash of white fur. Yet within 5 hours of riding, we're rewarded with some signs.
So you can see that we're close. Those tracks are all pointing in this direction. You can tell when you look at the track itself, the outline of the hoof, and then the dew claws. Shady and Brian have both grabbed their rifles because they figure that we're pretty close since the tracks are so fresh. Shady is taking off. He wants to check out the tracks on his own. He can be faster, probably much quieter. He takes off like that, running along the tops of these hills and scanning them, checking out for caribou. All right, well, we're just gonna wait here in the wind and see what happens as Shady goes off for the look.
One thing about the Inuit, when they say they're not going far to have a look, it's all relative. They could be gone for miles and hours. My guide has spotted 3 caribou. There's no question the sound of the motors will scare them away, so we have to come up to them with the sun at our backs and downwind. Only my guides are permitted by law to shoot the caribou, so for now, I'm simply along for the ride. If they're successful, I can help out with the cleaning of the game. Hey!
There's one. That's another one down. That's 2. Too far.
Okay, I gotta keep going.
The Inuit are not detached from the animals that sustain them. They never hunt for sport, only to feed their families, and it's a conscious choice over going to the village store and buying cow or pig.
Same as with most animals this size, knife into the back of the neck. Miles and miles of this vast, barren landscape, bitter cold, and 3 large game animals to take back to the village, take back home.
All 3 caribou need to be quartered right away to properly look after the meat, This skill of cleaning large game is something learned by Inuit at a very young age. It's simply a part of life.
The same thing.
Same thing that side? Okay.
It's one of those cases when your hands get really cold, you can just put them right in the blood of the animal to warm them up. A trick that hunters would use all the time in cold weather.
I didn't say that.
Okay, use the fist.
I'd rather not use the knives at all. Taking the hide off, they told me just use my hands. Keeps the animal clean, keeps the hide clean, the meat comes off better. It's also nice and warm. A lot of this, for this time of year, is not really right for clothing, so.
What will they use it for instead?
All for tarps.
Blanket?
Yeah, for blankets or tarps over whatever we caught.
You do have to work kind of fast because in these cold temperatures, the animal can freeze really quickly. Right now it's easy to skin because it's warm. It's always struck me as interesting when it comes to hunting. You know, at first, it's a beautiful animal. It's a pretty animal. For a lot of people, it's a cute and cuddly animal. And that's what it seems like at first. And then it always seems like, oh, it's a shame to kill the animal. For me, it's almost immediate that when an animal is finally dead and you've taken its life, and the minute you start processing it, it's absolutely incredible how quickly it goes from being an animal to being food. It really just, the switch for me is almost immediate. Now I'm looking at meat, tender meats, sections of meat, fat, the hide, and what it can do with it all. That's cold on the fingers.
Just follow the ribs.
As far as I have ever experienced, it's an unspoken tradition amongst hunters everywhere that you give yourself energy after the hunt by eating the still warm organs.
Caribou liver's still very good, nice and warm. Good.
Good shit, you.
Yeah, good.
Keep you warm.
Yeah.
Look at that. That was a very successful day. It seems to me, with cultures around the world, if this mark here with my hand represents the tipping point, this side is assimilation, and this side is living the old ways, then various cultures around the world are on either side or sitting right on it. The San Bushmen and the Kalahari seem to be sitting right on the line of the tipping point. What's going to happen next? The Inuit are more over on this side into assimilation. Yet, they're able to maintain their culture through skills like this, hunting on the land. Sure, they use snowmobiles, and they use rifles, and they use stoves with naphtha gas. But once they're out here, they still take a caribou, they eat every part of it, they utilize the hide. It all comes back to the family, it comes back to the friends in the village. But this kind of action, this kind of activity is what's keeping this culture alive.
In what seems like a counterintuitive move, Shiedi tells me to wash my hands using the lanolin-rich stomach contents of the caribou.
Oh, this is just wash my hands with the contents of the stomach here. Ah, actually smells really clean. I just washed my hands with caribou crap and it smells better than ever before. Feels good? Mm-hmm. That's good, eh? Hands are warm now, soft and warm. Thank you, caribou poop.
In the middle of the northern end of Baffin Island, I've just finished a successful caribou hunt with 2 Inuit guides. The meat has been stored, but there's one small treat that even my guides have not had before.
You gonna eat one?
You gonna eat one?
I can try it.
You can try. Have you had one before?
No.
You not had one before? Wow, come on, Brian. Have you ever eaten one? No. I just washed my hands with caribou crap so you can try a warblefly.
These fly larvae drive the caribou crazy and were a normal part of the Inuit diet years ago. It would seem now, though, that the practice is one piece of the culture that has gone by the wayside.
All 3, you ready? We try warblefly.
Yeah.
First time you guys eating this.
Mama.
It tastes like milk. That's disgusting.
This was considered a lucky day for my guides. You can go weeks out here even with a snow machine and still not spot a caribou. And as it is, in 150 miles of snowmobiling, we've only seen 3. But we're lucky to enjoy another easy night in the abandoned camp amongst the left-behind computers and office supplies. Caribou stew will warm us tonight. After our successful caribou hunt, our journey will now take us back to the village of Pond Inlet, so long as our machines can tough out the frozen, hard Arctic landscape.
We're barely into our journey back. We got 24 hours of solid sled riding all the way back to the village, and 2 hours into it, we've got a busted muffler. Ooh, that looks nasty.
That's brand new. $900.
$900 muffler. $900 muffler?
Yep.
Holy shit. If you can't do in-the-field repairs like this out here, you're dead. Because there's no way of getting help. There's no service center around the corner. These guys got to be able to fix everything they bring out here, or they're not coming back. We on our way? Looks like we're going.
Unable to make it all the way back in one shot, we've decided to stop at a fish camp that was a few miles up a river. It's here where we can hope to add to the caribou success by bringing home some Arctic char. Once again, we can take advantage of a small hut out in the middle of nowhere. Arctic char this time of year are way up the freshwater rivers, up in the lakes. It's just a matter of constantly getting food as they can when they travel the sea ice. Fishermen come up here and they leave the holes ready to go. Someone does the initial chopping, and then they'll leave them set up so other guys can come here with their nets, drop their nets quickly and efficiently, and hopefully get some char. Surrounding us are thousands of square miles of frozen, empty land. Polar bears roam the hillsides, and the creatures of the ocean will soon be making their way here once the ocean melts. Fishing through the ice is the Inuit way of adapting to this harsh environment. It's a physical example of the tenacity needed to survive here. Well, we found the spot where they already have the hole, so we're just gotta chop down. There should only be about 2 feet of new ice covering the previous deep hole.
That's a deep hole. Look at that. 6 feet down, solid ice.
The trick now is finding the second old hole left behind by another Inuit hunter a week or 2 earlier.
Wrong spot? Oh, you kidding? Oh, no.
All right, well, all that digging and we were in the wrong spot. Start again. The ice in this lake here is 6 feet thick. So where the hole is, it's about 2 feet thick. We can get back through because someone would have been using this maybe a week ago. It's kind of like a city work crew. 2 of us are watching while 1 guy works. Come on, Brian, get your back into it. So Shady's decided that he's pulling the net out because he actually phoned back to Pond Inlet. That's right, he used the phone, so we've got a satellite phone out here and talk about the modern blending with the traditional. Used a satellite phone to call his buddy in Pond, find out, okay, how big of a net did you use? And the guy said, well, I used a 50-yard net. So then Shady went and grabbed his net, 50-yard net, stretch it out, and see where it lands, and then we can figure out where this hole is, so we don't have to keep digging all night. Satellite phone saves the day.
Hours into the evening, hole after hole is chopped, trying to strike the spot where the original hole is. If we miss and keep digging, we'd have to chop through 6 feet of solid ice to hit the water beneath, whereas the old hole itself should have only 2 feet of ice.
Oh. All right.
Happy New Year!
Yeah. White needle in a white haystack.
Yeah.
Gonna walk along the ice.
Yeah.
On the bottom side of the ice, just gonna like walk, 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 walk,
You pull it,
all the way over.
let go,
Pull it, let go, all the way over to the hole.
Piece of wood with the lever action has got to walk its way across to the other hole. So it's got to be pointed perfectly, lined up, and it grips the ice from underneath and sort of walks. It's like walk, 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 walk until it comes up on the other hole there.
What happens if we miss?
Try it again. Tishaagna?
Brian's actually bending over and listening on the ice. As it goes, it hits the bottom of the ice and you can tell where it's going. This first try, I think we might have gone too far to the right. That's pretty wild. You can actually hear it walking along the bottom side of the ice. That kind of sounds kind of spooky. It's pretty funny. You can see there's the moon in the sky. It's getting cold and getting late. Anyway, a couple of tries. We're gonna try it again. See if we can get this 4-foot board to walk across underneath the ice, land right on the spot of this one little hole. And if he can do that, I'll be impressed. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Right on the center. 7 attempts at it. Right on the money. Right in the center of the hole. That is something to see. Holy mackerel. Okay, we put some rocks on the net, weigh it down. So I'm just gonna come to the other end here and pull the net through under the ice. Shady will guide it through from the other end, and I'll pull. What do you think? Good?
Good.
Many fish?
I don't know. Last week, not too many, she said.
Yeah, but I have good luck here. So we'll catch Arctic char. We'll be lucky. Net's finally in there and it's late. We could check it in an hour, but we're gonna leave it, sleep through the night, check in the morning, and hopefully have sushi for breakfast. Arctic char sushi. Arctic char sushimi. Because we don't have any rice. We go to bed?
Yeah, yes. Yes.
Let's go to bed.
The beauty of fishing with a net is that it works while you rest. In years past, an entire family would have been hoping for a good catch just to be able to eat.
See about this fish net, see if we've got any Arctic char. Interesting thing about the culture of the Inuit, it really is a culture that subsists, or at least traditionally, subsisted almost entirely on meat. Maybe some berries and roots in the summertime, but otherwise just all meat. And that part of their tradition, that part of their culture hasn't vanished at all. We've got some modern equipment to use, but in the end, still going after the meat that the area provides. Rope's undone, now we find out if we got any fish. Hey! There's one. Oh, he's alive still. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That is sweet. That's amazing. We did really well. Got 11 Arctic char just overnight in the net. So for all the effort that was put into it, chipping through the holes, trying to get that thing to line up underneath the ice. Nice. That's a sweet catch. That's good, eh? We eat well today. 3 caribou and lots of char. We're not going to starve. Won't get sushi fresher than that. That's good.
Ironically, in a land that seems like it couldn't be any harsher than it is, our bounty for survival has been good. 3 caribou and 11 Arctic char, but it doesn't stop there for the Inuit. Seal meat is still a mainstay in their diet, and most of the hunters will take nearly 100 or more seals every year for both themselves and their dogs. This time, they want me to make the kill. Well, I missed the seal, but I hit myself.
You not touch it, eh?
No, I was too close to it, yeah. Just when I went to shoot, I leaned in just a bit, and then I hit myself with it. It's okay, I'm fine. That hurt? Yeah, that hurt though. It hurt, I'm fine, but it hurt, yeah.
And with that, I've given myself a classic case of scope eye. A goof up that every hunter does at least once in his lifetime. I figured I'd escape that fate until today.
Let's see if we can get this seal now.
And that's the way it normally happens. Down goes the seal. You gotta be so full of stealth to get up to these things. Very skittish. Come back here in about 6 weeks, and the seal are out like pepper sprinkled all around the ice. Right now they're a bit spread out, but we'll get one.
My Inuit guides figure we can have more luck at the flow edge where the frozen ice meets the liquid ocean. It's a fertile area for hunting, but that means the competition will be there. Competition in the form of a 1,500-pound polar bear.
Okay, check this out. We were just scooting along by this iceberg and came upon some incredible polar bear tracks. These are super fresh. How fresh? Well, we probably scared the polar bear. That's about how fresh they are. We likely came around and our sound probably sent him running. It's actually, they look huge. I'll give you a comparison with my hand here, but they're actually not even that big for a polar bear. They're massive, but they're not as big as they can be. See if I do that, you can see if I put my hand just right in there. So this is actually, I consider this a fairly small bear, even though the width of the track is probably 8 inches across. The reality is there are a lot of polar bears here. Every hunter, everyone who comes out fishing has got to keep their eyes open for polar bears. The polar bears can be very predatory, very, very dangerous animal. Even with us, even with our numbers, well, put it this way, when we go to bed at night, every single place where someone is sleeping, there's got to be a rifle there beside them for the night. So that's how dangerous it is here. Beautiful animal, but a powerful one.
The Inuit don't head out and hunt seal because it's some kind of sport activity. It's not for game, it's not for fun. It's how they've always existed. It's how they continue to exist. They come out to the land, they get the food they need, they take it back home.
Before, the seals were fully exposed outside their small ice holes. Here, it's only their heads that remain a target to a hunter. And yet in the past, this had to be done in a kayak with a harpoon.
This is a lot tougher than it looks. Trying to pick off a little tiny black head in the distance. It's a lot different from trying to hit the side of a large ungulate, like a deer or a moose. The seals come in out of curiosity, just to see what I'm up to, what I'm doing. Even when you hit the water beside them, it doesn't seem to deter them. They'll still come back in out of curiosity to check you out. There he is. It's really moving, this one. Had to have got him that time.
But light, wind, and water reflection all play a part in making a shot like this difficult. Add to that a gun sight slightly offset from the rough travel, and the result for me is another miss. We've been successful at getting caribou and Arctic char, but seal is vital to their culture and to keeping healthy meat on the table without buying imported cow or pig at the village grocery store. For Shieti, my success is important.
Got him.
It was a perfect shot, a clean and quick kill.
All right, the boat's too small and the seal's probably too big for both of us to get in the boat and go out and get him. So Shady's gonna head out there to pick the seal up. This is a week's groceries for Shady and his family.
Like always, preparing the game takes place immediately. The Inuit culture and the seal are intertwined and always have been, and hopefully, always will be.
Well, it's not like I haven't done this before, but before I do, pass me a piece of liver. A warm seal liver. It's actually, it's fantastic. It's good, eh?
Mamakto.
Mamakto.
Yeah.
And the eyeball. Eyeballs usually saved for the children, eh? Oftentimes.
Oh, yeah.
The children like the eyeballs. I can't hold it, it's too slimy. It's basically just full of really nutritious, really tasty gelatin. And I know it seems really kind of gory and gross, but up here it's a treat. Oh, that's good. The skin of the seal itself becomes essentially the meat sack. All the meat will be put inside this, sort of tied up and taken back to the village, taken back for Shady and his family. You gonna keep this for your family, or you have friends?
Family.
Family. This seal lasts his family about 2, maybe 3 days. And carry on from there and come back out and do it all over again in a short while.
Living in igloos has long since vanished for the Inuit, and even building them while traveling has been replaced by heated tents. But the elders certainly still remember it well. Many of them were even born in igloos. To them, it represented survival in a big way. So the skill lives on and has only really started to wane in the last few years.
So we're gonna head up and look for a good spot to find the right snow for our igloo. We'll stay in tonight. The art of igloo making has not died with the Inuit people. It's still fairly strong and alive, but mostly with a slightly older crowd. And even my guy Cheti, mostly if he can rely on a tent now, he does. But still, hunters get caught out. They still need to know how to do this, how to make an igloo. They expect to survive out here, so. You like this spot?
Yeah.
Snow's right?
Yeah.
Good. Let's get started. So Brian, what did he tell you to cut? How are you cutting?
We're going to cut this way.
Yeah, just straight down?
No, you got
Slight
an
angle.
Yeah.
And
Just
like-
so when you're
Yeah.
cooking it up, it won't get stuck.
Okay, it's like this
Yeah.
and straight.
Someone once said, you sweat, you die. So as always, the sunshine can be deceiving. The temperatures are still frigid, so staying dry and comfortable is vital to survival.
This is a lot warmer work than it might look like. I'm pretty sweaty doing this. They used to use bone saws, and then they went to regular steel saws that we have, and now they switched to the wood saws. Works perfect.
consistency of this snow is a lot like styrofoam. Don't sound very romantic, but that's what works. Everything matters. It's not just cutting little blocks. You have to angle the saw on each of the sides a little bit differently, and you've got to get just the right size and right type of snow. For a two-man igloo, we need about 40 of these blocks. I'm always the laborer on construction sites. It's not fair.
In Inuit celebrations, they hold igloo making contests. The champion can build a full igloo from start to finish in around 10 minutes, and even climb on top to prove its strength. But it's taking the three of us many hours, as we've begun to feel the wear and tear of the long hours and the many miles traveling the Arctic landscape. Like a bee making a honeycomb, Rit'i builds the igloo from the inside out and seals himself in.
Hey. Not bad. Yes?
Yes.
You can see there's still all daylight. That's all got to be filled in all the way around, but it's just a beautiful work of engineering. Perfect. Still cold in here, though.
That's good. Keep it warm when it's raw?
Mamakto.
Mamakto?
Yeah.
What's mamakto mean?
Tastes good.
Tastes good. Ha, mamakto. Oh yeah, the seal's fantastic. When was the last time you built an igloo for you to sleep in? How long ago? How many years ago?
Long time. More than 20 years.
More than 20 years ago? Better stay in a tent?
Easy to set up to the tent. That's why. Faster. So.
Yep. All three meats from what we've caught, the Arctic char, the caribou, the seal, is better eaten raw. Keeps us warmer and tastes fantastic.
Shady has worked with me and Brian to set me up in this igloo, and it's pretty cozy actually. There's no wind in here, it feels warm, and likely the igloo will probably go the way of being a tourist attraction rather than something that's needed every day during the right season. They still have the skill and can use it in emergencies, but beyond that, at least in my guide's case, he'd much rather stay in a heated wall tent, which is just fine by me. Tonight, I stay in the igloo. Good night.
The Inuit are seemingly alone in their world. Not many people want to live in a place described as harsh and barren. Yet in truth, it's neither harsh nor barren, not when it's a land rich with culture. And this culture has had to endure the assimilation into modern civilization over the last 100 years. Somehow, they've done it and maintained their love for the land and their connection to it and the animals that live there. In spite of the incessant problem of poor nutrition, the result of the imported food brought in by plane and ship, their love for wild meat persists. They're showing that it's not too late for them to embrace or even rediscover their own traditional culture as they continue into modern existence and beyond survival. vast, but sparsely populated. The Amazon rainforest runs through 9 South American countries and covers 60% of the country of Peru. Deep in these forests live a tribe that was hidden from modern civilization for hundreds of years called the Wipai. Though the Wipai have abandoned their nomadic ways, they still hunt with bow and arrow and gather wild edibles and insects for food. Here in the Peruvian rainforest, I'll learn the secrets of this rare ecosystem from the jungle's very secret keepers themselves. My journey to the Amazon jungle of Peru starts in the high Andes, winding its way through various mountain ecosystems until I reach the Amazon itself. Our path to the Wipai tribe leads us directly through a town whose primary export is coca leaf. Gathered from the mountainside plantations, the leaves are left to dry in the sun and then packaged and legally exported for tea. In tea form or simply chewed, the leaves are good for suppressing hunger, thirst, pain, and fatigue, and are a staple for the Peruvian locals. There's a darker, illegal side to the coca trade here, but it happens under the cover of darkness. Continuing my journey to the Wipai tribe, the roads become rough and wet. Only a few weeks before, mudslides crippled the country and rivers swelled from torrential rains. It's turned these remote back roads into treacherous pathways where one slip could mean a 1,000-foot fall into the green abyss.
We are definitely stuck here. Yes. Now this is jungle driving.
Vehicles are often the biggest victims deep in the jungle. And one thing is for sure, drive off the side of the road here and you'll likely never be seen again. After rescuing stuck vehicles at least a dozen times, I finally arrive in the remote Amazon village of the Wipai. It's a big deal to the Wipai that an outsider has come to live with them, and they welcome me with a special meal. They prepared a root called yucca. It's chewed and smashed till it looks a lot like mashed potatoes, but tastes sweeter. When it mixes with the saliva from the ladies that chew it, it actually ferments the mixture. The tribal chiefs greet me in full headdress and offer up a meal of the fermented yucca mush. As expected, they live simply here, but the fingers of the outside world continue to grasp the once remote jungle culture.
This is their house. This is the real deal here. You can see up, they sleep on hammocks. This is as simple and as primitive as it gets. Once again, the two main things that I find change culture radically. Simply a metal pot. And I don't know what they would have used before, maybe pottery, maybe not. But a little bit of plastic, round metal pot. The rest of it's very simple. It's all based on weaving, tying together, carving, and grabbing the raw materials from the jungle. It's really quite amazing how they sit on the cusp of living almost as primitively as they have always lived, yet modern world creeps in just a little bit here and there, either slowly or quickly, depending on how you look at it.
All actions of every sort taken by the Wipai are begun by ceremony. Because these ceremonies assures their very survival in this jungle life, before we go on a hunt, we've got to ask permission from the jungle spirits for blessings, strength, and success on the hunt.
So the point of this is that it's like asking the medicine of the plant to improve and keep the accuracy of the hunters, us, intact by rubbing the medicine of the plant onto the arrows. So this is the final piece here. This will come with me. It's like a secret ingredient. But before, if I see an animal, then I rub the arrow with this. All right, let's go hunting. This particular village you can access by vehicle. That means access to the outside world pretty readily. Modern clothes in the town and village. There's some sinks and taps and cutlery, plates, those types of things. Lots of access to modern implements, but still living a fairly primitive lifestyle when it comes to certain aspects like hunting. The hunting and gathering part of a hunting and gathering society is exactly the skill set that seems to be the separator between assimilating into a modern culture and maintaining a more primitive one. That combined with ceremony and ritual. Lose the ceremony and ritual,
lose the land-based skills like hunting, fishing, and you lose the culture. Got some really nice wild mushrooms here. Perfect. It's always hunting and gathering, gathering and hunting. Gather while you hunt, hunt while you gather. Either way, there's a reason why that phrase has been played out the way it has been, because that's exactly what they do. And one doesn't really ever come without the other. It's the perfect use of energy, perfect synergy of activities.
As expected, the women are the gatherers, spotting wild edibles with every turn of the jungle trail. And also, as expected, the men are the hunters.
A lot of game that they might go after here has, well, started to disappear. The game is not as it used to be. A lot of the game is gone. Too much activity, mines, roads being built, just like everywhere. And that's what sends the game away, so they have to go farther and farther to find just about anything. This dude's actually going to climb the tree, get to the heart of palm. Not sure how high he's going, but he's definitely preparing. Sometimes gathering for these guys, it's like putting your life into your own hands. I've seen this method before. Putting a rope around feet like that. It's the same technique used a long way away from here in the Pacific Cook Islands. Wrapping a strap around his feet and then going up the tree, the feet grasping around the trunk. The beauty of the heart of palm is he can just go up this tree and take food like this whenever he needs energy. So for hunting, it's perfect. It's a quick grab along the way, and doing it this way rather than chopping it down at the bottom means the tree still lives. It'll sprout another top, and they can do it again later. Oh, look at that, it's beautiful. Nice, clean, and white. Soft. It's super healthy, and it's a good food. No wonder they developed the skills to be able to climb that high to get at food like this. It's just total hunting and gathering. One thing leads to another, leads to another. These leaves are basically to simply make a funnel for getting water from a water vine, which we could all use right about now. So we've got a hunt on now. Just by chance he sees a bird, hears a bird. So this is crazy. He's walking in bare feet. I'm trying to walk with boots on. It's ridiculous. He's walking super slow, trying not to make a sound. I'm trying to follow him, but I'm wearing rubber boots. It doesn't work too well for hunting when all you're using is a bow and arrow.
Unless they don't taste good, all birds are taken for food in the jungle.
Just missed the bird, and it got stuck in the tree, the arrow. Bravo.
I'm in the very humid and very hot Peruvian Amazon jungle with the remote Wipai tribe. We're on a hunting and gathering mission as they share with me their jungle survival techniques.
There's no such thing as an easy jungle hike. Straight up, straight down. That's why they call it the jungle. This vine here is simply for basket weaving. They need some more supplies, so they're gathering along the way. Always so far to go just for one little item. Because even this close to society, and even with metal pots within grasp, they still weave their own baskets, make their own bags, carry things from the jungle. So in this way, definitely keeping their culture alive. Sometimes when I'm confronted with a situation where I meet people such as these, where they're so close to civilization, and some part of them seems savvy, I'll bet I'm not the first person to film these people. Yet still, be able to come through the jungle like this, barefoot, climb trees,
gather everything they need for survival. Shows that even though they're becoming savvy to the outside modern world, they haven't lost their skill level for their original culture and way of life. You gotta watch it with every step I take. Every time I grab a tree to pull myself up, you gotta be careful it's not one crawling with poisonous ants, or sometimes you just shake the tree a bit and ants or worse might fall from above. And worse here could be any number of extremely poisonous snakes. That's why they wanted me to be in boots to protect my ankles while they walk in bare feet. It's as simple as that. It's just a chop off of the vine and the water just comes drizzling out. And even using bamboo for the container. You've got to chop both ends of it. Otherwise, if you just chop one end and wait underneath it, the suction holds the water in. This way, with this vine, you chop both off and all the water drains out. Usually it's just the men that come out on the hunt, but this time out, women are with us because we're doing some gathering. There we go. Whoa. Got a lot of water in this one now. This water is just great just to drink, but it's very medicinal water. If you have conjunctivitis or fever, you can drink this water. Very helpful, very good for you. That's good. That's very good. And it's surprising when it's cold too. It's not cold here, temperature-wise, but the vine water's cold. It's beautiful. I've just stopped for a little bit of protective face painting here. This little spot here, he thinks he can get some worms.
Look at that.
What do you see? What do you see?
Look at that.
Oh, yeah. It's a wasp nest. That is one heck of a big small wasp nest. Those are just little tiny wasps, but they hurt when they sting. It's just a ball of them. It's a ball of wasps. He's walked right in behind them. I don't think I'm going to go in and follow him this time. I'll let him come out. Wow, that's incredible. Now, that's the trouble with the jungle. When you go through, you're going to stir something up.
My guide is hard on the hunt for a treat hidden within a dead palm tree.
Oh! That's a lot of work for that meal. See, bite? Bite? Oh, see? Okay, it bites. All right. So finally now we get to eat our take-home lunch here.
Okay, entonces dale a él y ustedes también. ¿Sí?
Mushrooms. Ah, okay. I didn't even see these the first time, but they caught some shrimp with the snails. Yep, that's shrimp, all right. Wow, the palm heart is amazing. It's fantastic. Snail. A little chewy, but good. So there we go. That's my little grub dude there. She took her part already. It's good. It's good. See? So you can see that we were gathering while we were hunting. Classic hunting and gathering. In the process, we ended up with enough food, even though we were unsuccessful with the hunt, we ended up with enough food to eat. We've got snails, mushrooms, the grub, we've got some banana, the palm heart, all of it absolutely delicious and enough to be full tonight. As the shaman explained to me, everything is done with a ceremony. There is nothing that they do that doesn't somehow start with some kind of ceremony. And these ceremonies and these skills is what I'm about to learn.
The Wachapade believe these ceremonies keep the spirits of the area and the community in balance and harmony. They've been practiced for hundreds, if not thousands of years. When one member is going through a difficult time, the shaman will work with him and call the different plant spirits to come and appease his soul. They wouldn't allow me to experience life and survival with them until I underwent a series of ceremonies meant to align my own spirit with the spirits of water, rock, wind, and fire, as well as the spirit of the jungle and the earth itself. For they believe without these ceremonies, people are not living their lives in harmony with nature. In the dampness of the rainforest, the shaman and I spend hours working on a single hand drill to create fire. They have matches, but this is a sacred fire for a sacred tobacco ceremony, and it must be started in the traditional way. As so many ceremonies are, this one is for purification and connecting with the spirit of tobacco.
Bueno.
As I work with the elements and eventually produce a flame, my intentions become known to the spirit world.
Ponga la mano de espíritu de la paz y armonía. Así.
Tobacco and fire are what feeds the plant teacher's genius, and they say that before you cut down a medicinal plant or ingest one, you must blow tobacco smoke and ask for permission. If I'm going to be able to ingest the Wachapade's powerful plant medicines throughout my time here, I have to honor the place with tobacco and fire by undergoing this sometimes painful but clarifying tobacco ceremony. Coca leaf is chewed for the strength, and a mixture of dried tobacco and ground dry bark powder are placed in a small pipe and blown high into the nasal passages. The shaman has a curled pipe and blows it into his own nose. But for me, he handles the pipe as he knows blown too hard could be a problem. But even when he handles it, it's extremely painful. Some describe the first experience of it like driving a spike up your nose with a hammer. The blast of tobacco and bark dust washes through my senses with the power indicative of an ocean wave. But he asks to blow more, as both nostrils are necessary for cleansing of the nasal passages, for the cleansing of the mind. The rest of my body takes a back seat to the intense feeling of clarity that comes over me. I don't smoke cigarettes, so the intense tobacco flushing instantly induces feelings of nausea. Clarity of vision and clarity of the mind don't always come without some kind of pain. I'm deep in the Peruvian jungle with a group of people called the Wachapade, and after many sacred ceremonies and a jungle trek to gather food, we've headed off once again to try our luck this time with fishing. But first, a small stop along the way to deal with a snake that scared a family out of their dwelling.
This snake was actually in the roof, and they pulled him out of their dwelling here. They aren't going to let a snake like this sort of hang around loose. So unfortunately, they've whacked it on the head, but they kill these snakes always. So this poor guy, his fate is relegated to the same fate that most snakes around here, if they're spotted out in the open, experience, and that is they get whacked and killed. This one's still, unfortunately, a little bit alive here. I was able to get to it before they completely killed it. That is a beautiful snake. Now he's just trying to get his bearings, come back around on me here, but they've hit him. But I've seen snakes, now you see him sort of twisting around, trying to get his bearings. I've seen snakes hit before that come back around. So with any luck, I mean, they want to just chop his head off and kill him. With any luck, maybe I've got it to the point where they'll let him go. And I can let him back into the jungle here. All right. The last thing I really want to do is let this snake get killed, but
There's no way they want to let it go free. And that's that. That's life in the jungle. Snakes like this come around, encampments like these. Not my style, not my speed, not what I'd like to do, but it's the way it has to be done. It's life in the jungle.
As it turns out, this is not a poisonous snake, but for the Wachapati, when it comes to a 4-foot snake in your roof, they kill first and ask questions later.
Sad though this is, it's the reality of living around poisonous snakes, spiders, ants, all sorts of creatures. Back at home, when we just use poison and we don't see the death. Here, when something threatens the life of your children, your family, you have to kill it yourself. At least they're making use of all of it. They're pulling the fat out from the snake, which is very important for them, and the meat, and they'll use the skin for decoration.
We continue on our hike into the jungle to gather the elements needed to carve bows and arrows by hand. Survival here is a daily exercise, whether dodging snakes, collecting edibles, or making tools. Yet the reality is, they're only a jungle drive away from civilization. It's an extreme juxtaposition of ways of life.
We're just gathering all we can for making bow and arrows.
Around the world, the process of making bows and arrows is not one to be rushed. Hours, days, or even weeks are spent perfecting the tools needed to live in the jungle. This tribesman is an expert at his craft, assembling a weapon quickly and efficiently, using the wood we've collected and a simple knife.
He's much faster than me.
Each tribe around the world that I've seen still use the bow and arrow has pretty much the same technique. We've got to get it carved down till it's thin enough, and in some cases, like right now, he's putting notches in depending on what they're going for, and then always using heat to straighten it up. Put it over the heat, it loosens up, opens up the pores, opens up the cell structure so that you can straighten it out, and then it cools straightened, and it's no different here.
Once again, the outside world makes its impact, however small, in the middle of the jungle.
It's like in so many places making use of modern tools to do a very ancient and primitive skill. A pair of scissors probably used to be a sharpened stone, sharpened bone. This right here is the bird that the feathers came from, palhi. I can't pronounce it, but it's a big black bird from the jungle of Peru. First rubs it with the insect dung, and then charcoal just creates a glue. You know, when you watch closely just how intricate this is to put this fletching on the arrow. It's a marvelous skill. It's a beautiful skill. It's intricate. It takes technique. It takes patience. And how many young kids are learning this skill right now? I haven't got a clue, but I can't see people knowing how to do this 20 years from now, unless they keep it alive here. Hopefully they will. See. Here they don't use poison at all. It's just this long arrow, and they'll have other types of arrows as well, but for the hunting we're going to do for bird or small mammal, this is what this arrow is made for. They don't need poison. You can tell in the workmanship that he's a master craftsman. It's just beautiful, beautiful work, done quickly, swiftly, smoothly, and solid.
The Wachapati are skilled fishermen, but not using poles, using instead these very arrows we've been working on.
All right, we're heading our way to the river. Oh, there's another bullet ant. Check that out. Okay. The meanest thing in the jungle is an inch long.
Deep in the Peruvian Amazon jungle, I'm making my way to a river used often for its bounty of fresh fish.
It's about a 4 or 5 hour journey on the jungle trail here. Build a raft, we're gonna head down and do some fishing. This is still part of how they exist throughout the year is navigating the rivers by raft and fishing with bow and arrow. So we're gonna head out to do that and see if we can't get in some hunting along the way.
see if I can get a shot away with bow and arrow going after fish, which is tricky. He's a little worried that there may not be that many fish for us to go for, but we'll give it a shot anyway. So we've got to move real slow just to try and spot the fish in the water.
Everything matters while searching for fish, even our shadows. Each movement has to be slow and measured, or the whole hike becomes a waste. The fish are becoming scarce in this river, but we can still spot a few through the muddy water. It's a bit of a mental challenge fishing like this. If unsuccessful, as in our case today, all of the well-crafted arrow tips are broken on the rocks beneath the surface of the water. At least we can still meet up with more members of the tribe to carry out what is hopefully a more productive way of trapping or catching fish. But first, we have to head downstream.
We're just getting this raft put together. Continue jamming in the spikes into the balsa wood, which had to be brought from further upstream because even that's starting to be depleted in this area. But it's quite the process. That's some hard wood. That's chunta.
Sometimes they actually do split the logs. You don't put the spike in just the right way.
The machete and the axe are the two most valued tools from the outside world. They make so much possible in the jungle. There are places downriver the Wachapati want me to experience. Areas of the jungle where we can poison fish and gather plants of medicine meant to give me the strongest of purifications. For people who live in the jungle, gathering supplies takes on the form of a giant spiderweb of trails and journeys throughout their territory. There is no box store at the end of the street where all your wants are satisfied. Yet life here seems somewhat more satisfying.
Throughout most of the jungles of the world, people have found ways to catch fish simply by poisoning them. And the Wachapati are no different. So this morning I'm going to head out and see if that skill is still intact and just how effective it can be in a place like the Peruvian Amazon. Okay. Ah, see. I asked them if they get stung or bitten much doing work like this in the jungle. And they just said, yes, yes, always. Ow! Ow! Hey, no problema. Like that. There's always something here to sting you or bite you, mostly ants. The jobs of survival here are split evenly between the men and the women. The women generally do a little bit more of the weaving, of course, and the men generally do a bit more of the hunting with bow and arrow. But otherwise, a lot of the jobs are split between both sexes.
Also split evenly is the pride in the skills of the jungle, along with the desire for their children to learn skills of the outside world.
So, 37 ant bites and about a pound of sweat later, and we've got all the roots we need for poison fishing.
Almost at a jogging pace, I'm trying to keep up on the jungle trail with the barefooted Wachapati of the Amazon rainforest.
The clothing they're wearing is their clothing of choice. They do have t-shirts and pants. Sometimes they wear that. Sometimes they wear what they're wearing now, which is essentially clothing that's been made out of bark of trees. Processed, beaten down, softened up, dyed, painted, until they end up with the beautiful clothing they have on now. On another day, they might throw on their cotton t-shirt they got from town. They just jump between the two worlds without thinking about it.
While the men often show me much pride in their hunting skills, it's the women who are always the most playful once their shyness subsides.
How do you reckon on that? Daddy and Wai. Daddy and Wai. Daddy and Wai. That's my new name, Daddy and Wai. Means the one who travels the world. Nowadays, they use plastic to do the poison fishing, cover the pond. But they just had discussion because they said, well, can you turn the camera off when we use the plastic, and then later we'll put the leaves on, which is the way we've always done it. And I guess they felt bad about it, but I told them I'm not here as a tourist. I don't want to see the dress-up version of what they do. I want to see what they do now. And it's fine by me. They want to use plastic? Use plastic. They want to use leaves? Use leaves. I know they know how to do it. That's all that matters. Aqui? Aqui?
Within a short period of time, and a few hands for help, we manipulate the flow of the river, giving us a spot with a slow current to put the poison in. All of the ingredients of roots and stems need to be broken down individually to allow the chemicals to work together and permeate the water.
This poison is so strong that I'm not supposed to now put my hands in the water. It'll send the fish away. I don't want any pieces to go in the water. It'll scare the fish away. And I'm not supposed to touch my mouth, my eyes, and I can't wash until I'm done. So, pretty powerful poison. I remember I was poison fishing in another country. Actually, it was in the jungles in Sri Lanka. And there, from what I could tell, the poison put in the water actually took the air out of the water, the oxygen out of the water, and so the fish rose to the surface trying to gasp for air, and you could catch them. Here, they say this poison might make them a bit dizzy, make them dopey, make them easier to catch, and it eventually also kills them outright. Once again, I find myself with poison all over me that I'm not supposed to get in my eyes or lick or touch. You gotta wonder how fishing using poison can just evolve in jungles thousands and thousands of kilometers apart. One jungle, and then you go halfway around the world to another jungle, and they both have peoples that catch fish by combining ingredients and poisoning them.
For this method, the poison is put into the top of the flow and winds its way down the stream, affecting the fish as it goes.
Got one. Aha! Now that's what I'm talking about. This one swam itself right up onto the shore. They're just coming to the surface readily now. Just dozens and dozens of little tiny catfish and different fish. One big one. Yep, more. You can see a whole group of people from the village came down to help out with this one. This was pretty amazing to do this kind of work. It's not a huge payoff for what we've got here, but still, I imagine there are times where the fish they get are quite large. All depends on the season, the river, the timing, everything. This whole process is amazing and utterly primitive. I hadn't actually seen this one before, but take the bamboo, all the fish go in the bamboo, stuff the top with bamboo leaf, put on the fire, and there's actually bamboo flavor that gets infused into the fish as they cook it, so it's fascinating.
Life in the jungle is a perpetual state of living or surviving in the moment. The fish are caught here and now, and so they're eaten here and now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Gracias. I'm gonna let that cool down. That's hot, but it looks delicious. Delicioso. Ah, sí, sí. Of course. Lobster. Delicioso.
Delicioso.
Sí. His mother here wants her children to learn the technology of the computers and so on. But she also wants them to maintain the connection to the land and know the land skills as well. My question is, can you have both?
Wachapati believe that the glue that will keep this culture together is the sacred medicinal plant ceremonies. After establishing my honest desire to learn their way of life, I'm about to take part in a very powerful Wachapati ceremony.
The medicine we need for the next ceremony is this vine, so we're just harvesting it. It's very important that he wanted me to be part of the harvesting.
Esto es la chacruna blanca.
Chacruna blanca.
Sí.
The shaman and I have gone off to collect medicinal plants for the next ceremony. It's the ceremony of essentially for enlightenment and vision. And it's very important the time of day that the plants are collected. It's very important that I be part of the collecting, because for them it's all connected all the way through. The energy of the plant, my energy, the earth's energy, all together. It's actually a medicinal plantation. Alberto, the shaman, has cultivated 216 medicinal plants here in this little tiny section of the jungle. We have at least 12 to maybe 14 different medicines that have to be prepared for tonight's ceremony, all combined to create a powerful medicine. These people in the Peruvian jungles have taken the knowledge of medicinal plants just completely and entirely to the next level.
And it's to that next level where Alberto, the shaman, wants me to go. A level of complete purification and cleansing. And for this cleansing, a concoction of more than 14 leaves, roots, stems, and flowers is necessary. Some of these plants could be harmful to the point of being deadly if mixed wrong. Or it could simply be too weak to do anything at all. None of this is done haphazardly. All actions are to be done mindfully, with good intentions, or it's feared that wrong intentions and motives will actually affect the medicine itself, or at least my reaction to the medicine. This combination is meant to show me a path to answers and to understanding. Alberto has practiced all his life, and it's this skill of combining all these ingredients that is quite possibly either being lost or in danger of being lost if the young members of the tribe don't take up the skill.
After a full day of fasting and resting, I'm just headed my way now to a hut, I suppose deep in the jungle, as they say, to have the ceremony, take the medicine. This is an overnight ordeal. He's asked me to bring along some blankets, pad to sleep on, and to be prepared to spend the entire night within the ceremony and within the influence of the medicine.
And that is indeed how the Wachapati look at it all. It's all medicine. Plants to align my spirit with other spirits. Plants to purge me of sickness, of ailments, of congestion, even of evil. Plants and ceremonies meant to align my spirit and bring it into harmony with the earth energy and the spirits of the natural world.
So far, the whole first part of the ceremony has revolved around relaxing, eating coca leaves, and preparation to bring all of us into a state of openness and acceptance.
The shaman summons the plant spirits to come and help him during the ritual. This is a healing ritual called La Purga, in which I'll physically purge all my demons and all that I don't need in my life. Physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. I'll drink 2 times and will relax until I feel the effects begin to take hold. This medicine is strong and causes me to retch, flushing toxins and jungle parasites from my body. My vision goes white like the static of a TV set without a channel tuned in. And metaphysically, I journey beyond the thatched roof hut, releasing that which I no longer need. In this way, the Wachipati rid themselves of disease in both the body and the mind, coming into balance with their surrounding environment and harmony with their fellow tribe members. In this cockroach-infested hut, I sit and wait for what, I'm not sure. It's simply meant to be a cleansing, a clearing of my body, mind, and soul. Sitting quietly with the shaman and his apprentice, I'm acting out a journey that thousands of Wachipati take many, many times in their life. To reconnect to the elements that surround them, to become well, to become strong, and most importantly, to get answers. More in touch with the medicinal and valuable plants of the jungle than most people on the planet, these Wachipati are holding on to a skill set that in some eyes could be the future key to curing diseases and sickness worldwide. And they don't want to lose these skills. They're proud of them. Hopefully, they'll be able to keep their knowledge and share it with people beyond their diminishing jungle borders, and take this great spiritual and physical knowledge beyond survival. A South American country that is ecologically diverse, Peru has both the Amazon jungle and the largest mountain range in the world, known as the Andes Cordillera. I'm about to begin one of the most arduous Andean pilgrimages known to man. But before I do, I need to seek permission from Mother Earth to prepare me for the intense experiences to come. The first ceremony is called Wachuma. This is Cucho, an Incan priest. The plant medicine he gives me is gathered from the hills surrounding Machu Picchu, and it's meant to open a conversation with Pachamama, known in North America as Mother Earth. In a metaphysical sense, my mind never leaves. I'm not journeying anywhere. I'm not seeing crazy visions or flying above the ground. But what I do feel is a very strong and very palpable connection to the earth energy like I have never felt before. For 6 long hours, Cucho continues to chant, never ceasing. It overcomes me in my consciousness. And that's the only way I can describe this 6-hour-long journey.
The shaman called that very gentle medicine. And it was, but it was very powerful too. And the message is yet to come.
I leave the foothills of the Andes to meet with the high priests of the Queros nation. These priests will lead me on a journey to earn the right to become an ukuku. The ukukus are the Incan spiritual warriors, charged with keeping the peace and performing the highest ceremony at the mysterious once-a-year gathering called Qoyllur Rit'i. But to become an ukuku, I've got to climb the ancient passage 90 miles through the high Andes Mountains. I'm making my way into the heart of the Queros nation. Not exactly the lost city of the Inca, but the Queros people are a true ancestral lineage to an ancient Inca priesthood. And they're here in the Andes Mountains. For 500 years, they were under the rule of the Spanish. Yet still they maintain their belief system, their culture, their traditions. Perhaps it's because of their isolation here in the Andes Mountains that they've been able to hold on to those traditions, their belief system, and their culture. They're cut off from a lot of society. There's no roads here. It's just a long trek in. It's very important always to be asking for permission. Here, permission
permission is asked of the spirit of the land, permission is asked of Mother Earth, here called Pachamama, and it's with your own silent prayer, your own silent request for permission to travel through the area safely. Here it's done with the coca leaf. The first blow comes from your mind, the second from your heart, and the third from the strength of your body.
The Q'ero secure their physical and spiritual survival by praying to stay in harmony with the nature that surrounds them. The mountains, lakes, clouds, and the sun. My journey is about asking permission of the mountain spirits to become an Ukuku. If I succeed, I'll be the first outsider in history to ever become one. I've made it my own pilgrimage challenge to walk the entire 90 miles to Qoyllur Rit'i, of which 85 are uphill. My guide's name is Don Humberto. He's the most revered Incan high priest, and it's through his ceremonies that the mountain spirits will test me. Tonight, I'll sleep in his home village.
These Andes mountains are powerful and beautiful. You can feel the energy of them when you walk through. You see, the Inca called these mountains Aukus. Each one has its own name. The flow of power, the flow of energy is reciprocal. It's not only from the mountains and the water and Pachamama to the Incan people, but it's also them back. In a lot of their ceremonies, they first have to release their own power to the Aukus, to the mountains, before the power can be released back to them. It truly is a symbiotic relationship between the great mountain spirits, the earth, Pachamama, the water, and the Inca people. They need each other for survival.
The Andes mountain range is the largest mountain range in the world. Trekking like this is all about battling the altitude. Even in the lowest stretches, we're still hiking above 12,000 feet, and altitude sickness is a very real threat.
All right, that's it. It's a good half day of hiking up these mountains with the horses. I mean, you can't get a bad view here. It's absolutely breathtaking. I'm gonna set up camp here and let the horses rest. The biggest issue here, the biggest issue of my entire journey is going to be acclimatizing to the altitude. Altitude sickness itself is extremely debilitating. We've got to take our time, breathe slow, walk slow, and make our way up these magnificent mountains. I'm already sweating. I've been layering down, whereas the horsemen are bundled up, backpacks on their back, hats on, and they're not even breaking a sweat. And I am. I think I heard someone say once, you sweat, you die.
I'm on a 90-mile pilgrimage with Incan high priests through the Andean mountains. And how these people survive up here is starting to become evident in their own high Andes version of animal farming, alpacas and vicuñas.
In the olden days, the Inca would do a special ceremony, and the community would come out and capture the vicuñas. They wouldn't kill them though. They would simply shear them, get the fibers. From that, they would make special robes for the Incan kings. It's still a very protected animal. They were not killed for meat. They're protected then and they're protected now. And unfortunately, they're actually increasing in population, which is good.
A scarf made from vicuña hair can cost $800. This journey is going to take 5 days with some treacherous climbing. Thousands of indigenous Andeans across Peru are also making the pilgrimage towards Qoyllur Rit'i, but not this ancient way. They're going by road and trail on the other side. I've been given special access by the high priest to join them on this trek and to become an Ukuku in the process.
Even these areas are not as benign as they look. These little mud, moss bogs can trap an alpaca, trap a horse, and if no one's around to pull them out, they get bogged down in it, they get stuck in it. That's the last day they see. But it's a sad story for the horse or the alpaca, no doubt. This is actually the dry season. When the wet season is here, this is very boggy and the mud's very deep.
Once a horse is dead, a wildcat called a puma and the condors move in for the feast. When the Andean man calls on the Aukus, they're calling on the great spirits that inhabit each mountaintop. The testing by these Aukus has begun. Snow, sleet, and icy rain hit our convoy and make the climbing very rough. The horses are getting agitated, and it's not long before one of them gets spooked.
Just had a major blowout with one of the horses. It was actually the horse that had all of my camera equipment on it. And it must have slipped down on his belly, but just started freaking out, kicking, jumping, getting everything free off itself, and then took off running into the hills. One of the horsemen's gone after him to catch him.
Hypothermia is always a risk at these altitudes. So making it to our destination in the clouds by nightfall is vital. The Spanish couldn't find a way up here. It was too far to make the journey worth their while. So the Q'ero existed up here as legend for nearly 500 years, until an anthropologist found them in the 1950s. It's wondered if he found them, or if they let themselves be found.
This is Qoyllur. They don't really know how old it is. It could be anywhere from 600 to 1,000 years old. It's one of the original Q'ero villages. In fact, just up behind me here, Don Umberto is one of the most experienced, most knowledgeable, and most skilled of the high-level priests of these people. And he was born and lived in those ruins right up there. And this is where I'm staying tonight. Qoyllur.
A few stone buildings and a herd of alpaca is all the ancient village of Qoyllur consists of.
You can see they've got interesting little stove set up here, and keep very small fires going. Wood all above it to stay dry. What they do is they head down. The Amazon jungle is only 4 hours away. So they'll head down there, and I don't know, I assume they either trade for wood or they gather wood, bring it back up here, and they can have their fires. Up here, there's just nothing. There's no trees. They've just got grass to burn.
The biggest threat to the Q'ero are the puma, who stalk their alpaca herds under the cover of nightfall. We know them in North America as the mountain lion.
All the llamas are being brought in now to protect them overnight from the puma. These alpaca know better. They stay out there on their own. An easy meal for them. This place is spectacular. Rosa is busy cooking dinner. And her whole kitchen is a rock hole in the ground here, which keeps the fire going. It's just her and I and the kids in here tonight, but it's all beautiful stone wall encased in mud, and just all of their belongings hanging all around. This place really is as primitive as it was the day it was built. Anyway, I don't want to bother her too much because a stranger coming in here to stay, and she's busy doing her thing, and I'm talking to a camera. It's got to be weird. I'm just gonna crawl into my alpaca fur bed and call it a night.
Night passes over the Andes Mountains, and I awake to another day in the ancient Inca village of Qoyllur.
It's about 4:30 in the morning, and she's already been up chopping wood and getting breakfast going. It's ridiculously smoky in here, and the dogs have been up all night long barking. I guess they're protecting everybody from puma, but I think they just bark at anything that moves out there.
The Q'ero built these stone villages when they fled from their Spanish conquistadors in the 17th century. They brought the alpaca herds with them. If they hadn't, there'd be very few alpaca left today. The Spanish slaughtered most of them.
So that was quick. Corral them all into this whole rock section here, and singled one out, and they've caught him, and they're bringing him down. There he goes. There he goes. He's got one.
To be Andean is to respect all things who live on the earth, and to consider the planet as a mother. So even when killing an alpaca, they make an offering of coca leaves to the Aukus, to the spirit of the beast itself.
Very, very important that permission is asked and granted for everything they do. Every major activity that goes on, they ask permission for.
When they pick out the leaves for asking permission, they've got to pick leaves that are not broken, that are perfect. In this way, they're not only seeking permission, but they're offering back their energy, their life force to Pachamama, so that Pachamama can continue to provide it back to them, forcing some coca leaves into the alpaca's mouth. Same style of kill as with all animals in this manner. Quick cut of the spinal column at the back of the neck, and the animal's dead very quickly. In this case, they're going to gather and keep the blood. The survival of the Quechua people is very much tied into the alpaca. This is everything to them. It's their economy, it's their culture, it's their livelihood, it's their survival is tied up in this animal right here. All right, so now begins the chase. We just gotta chase these guys up out of the corral, and they'll make their way out into the hill. And away they go. They'll make their way up into the hills. Puma are now, well, Puma, they generally hunt at night, so they're off into their little caves or little holes, and these guys are safe again.
With the alpaca herds out for the day, I'll journey with Don Umberto to perform the first of 2 glacial water ceremonies.
All right, well, I'm leaving this tiny village now just for the day. I'm heading up with Don Umberto. We've got a 4-hour hike straight up the mountains, and as you can see, the sun has finally come out enough that it's hot enough that I can have my shirt off. There's my trusty steed. I've named him Snow. He's the only white one in the whole bunch. Look at this place. Words can't describe a place like this. It's truly unreal. This village down in the city of Cusco is known as one of the very mystical places. They talk about it, oh, you know, up in the mountains, a group of descendants from the Inca still live and still carry out the mystical and traditional ways. And this is it right here. This is the mystical village, or one of them. These are the Queros people. Here, the air is so thin. I mean, we're at 15,000 feet, and altitude sickness is a very real, ever-present danger for someone like myself. Comes from lower altitudes. Here, they've grown and adapted to it. They're used to it. It's kind of like, imagine yourself working out. Come on. Working out, jogging, running around really hard, and having a straw taped to your mouth. That's what it's like trying to get oxygen up here. Add to it the fact that I have a stubborn horse and I'm pulling him half the way up the hill. Come on, Snow. It doesn't help.
They tell me in order to become an ukuku, I have to take part in 2 different water ceremonies. The lakes and the pools in these mountains are formed from sacred glacier ice.
Just walking through the mist. The llama and alpaca fields here. It's all boggy, deep holes. Oh, maybe that's why they call it mystical, because the mist seems to hide everything obvious. And you're left to focus mostly on yourself. You can see from the man playing the flute that the ceremony starts long before you make it to the final destination.
For the Quero people, survival is linked to either the alpaca physically or being in harmony with the earth spiritually. And these ceremonies I'm to perform are meant to not only bring me into harmony with the earth, but to enable me to bring that harmony to others. I'm on a high Andes trek on a journey to become an Incan spiritual warrior known as an ukuku, and the mountain spirits are testing me for physical and spiritual survival.
Well, here comes the rain again. Weather changes every hour here. It's a steep climb. This is not going to be easy. Pachamama doesn't necessarily make everything easy.
For my first test, Don Umberto prays to the glacial pond, calling Mother Earth along with the spirits of the mountains to to infuse me with their power. The fact that it's raining is actually a good sign, because it means that so far the mountain spirits like who they see. And Don Umberto is carefully watching the signs of nature for acceptance or refusal. The signs for the priests are ever present. Quick flashes of sunshine at exactly the moment the priest is asking for it, followed by driving sleet and biting wind. It's said that the Keros can talk to the elements, converse with them at will, and move the clouds when they need to, just as simply as talking to another human.
It's time to go now. The ceremony was meant to infuse all the power, all the energy of the Aukus, the mountains, from around the world, through the priests and into me. Now they've asked that I leave, take my cameras with me. They need to finish the ceremony on their own.
Making my way back to the village of Copocucho, my body is still freezing cold, and I know I have yet another water ceremony to prepare for. The tests to become an ukuku are tough, both physically and mentally.
That's a hard trek. The strength to do such a trek is here in these mountains. That's what keeps you going.
After 4 long hours of walking, I make it back to Don Umberto's home village. There isn't a lot of food available up here, and dinner tonight will be boiled potatoes and alpaca meat.
Just sharing some coca tea, and I think some food soon as well.
Right now, it's been raining all day. Beautiful to be in here because with all these bodies, it's nice and warm and dry in here, so great way to end the day.
Yeah, full moon up there. Look at that. Unbelievable. Right now, difficult to see with the cameras, but the whole valley is lit up with the full moon. Another beautiful rock home, rock hut, built probably 500-600 years ago. That's pretty much my dwelling for the night. I think I'm sleeping in the food pantry. This is all potatoes and seeds and nuts, and it's a bit of straw on the floor. And it's a nice big high roof, and it's dry, and it rains a lot here, so that's important.
After a short night's sleep, I'm up at dawn to continue my journey through the mountains to the Qoyllur Rit'i festival. Don Umberto is taking me to a glacial lake they believe is possessed by a very powerful feminine spirit called Anusta. I've got to get naked and be infused with the healing power of the lake if I'm going to become an ukuku.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning, and that glacial lake down there is the site of my next ceremony. It's a cleansing of my energies. Not just my body, but a cleansing of my entire energy at 6 o'clock in the morning.
The water is intensely cold. This is not some polar bear swim that's easily managed after a few beer on a New Year's Day. My fingers and toes have been frostbitten from years of dog sledding in Canada's north, and immersing them here and now will be extremely painful. This experience can be so overwhelming that some initiates have slipped into the cold water and not been able to pull themselves out, drowning in the process. I'm the first outsider to take part in this ceremony. No cameras have filmed or photographed it, or this mountain they call Wamanipa, before. As an ukuku, I'm to help heal the disharmony between Mother Earth and her people. It's the Incan warrior's obligation to Pachamama to protect her.
There's so many things about that experience that I could never relate. The feelings that you walk through, the emotions, and the power is unbelievable. Even the pain, too, of the cold.
As I gain the respect of the high priests, I get closer to earning my spot as an ukuku.
Well, I'm a long way from done yet. It's a hell of a journey. It's like spirits of the mountains, the Aukus, Mother Earth, Pachamama, and beats you and breaks you down step by step by step. You're broken down so that when you get to the place for the ceremonies and the initiation, and indeed even the Qoyllur Rit'i festival, you're humble. All along the way, whenever the priest is playing flute, it's because it's a constant request for permission to travel safely through these hills. You know, the mist looms over you, and it's like the spirit of the Aukus of the mountains. It's like they're always hovering there, and they can make it miserable for you, or they can make it easy and give you safe passage. Traditionally speaking, when the people would do a long journey up a hard hill, when they get to the top, they would leave something to say thank you to the gods, thank you for giving me the strength to get this far, and you leave an offering for that, and that's what I've done here. It would seem that the testing that I went through in the first part of this journey with the wind and the rain and the snow, well, perhaps I passed those tests, because now in what is the most treacherous part of the journey, the weather is fair and the going is good. The road's treacherous, but taking it slow and easy. Incredible.
Today I'll complete my long journey through the high Andes and enter the sacred valley of Sincara, the back way. In the footsteps of the ancient tradition, with the high priests of the Inca, I've been proving my worth for becoming an ukuku, a spiritual warrior on behalf of Pachamama, Mother Earth.
So you wouldn't think, up here in the high Andes, yet this plant here, oh, if the camera could smell, it smells amazing. So this whole side, they actually call the medicine side of the mountain, is covered with medicinal plants. They come here to collect their medicines. It's important here to come and honor Womanita and splashing my face, drinking from the stream, as I do everywhere around the world. It comes right from that glacier up there. This, it may not look like much on camera. That's a long way up. That's the next pass, that's the high pass. Beyond that pass is Qoyllur Rit'i, and that'll be my first glimpse of the festival. That's mostly what it's like. It's a whole series of climbing up, breathing slowly, and then every once in a while, I do like this rapid succession of breathing to try to quickly pump more oxygen into me, because there's not a lot of oxygen this high up. We're on our way up to about 16,000 to get over this pass, maybe more than that actually. But my only method for getting through it with breathing is long stretches and stop, rapid breathing, long stretch, more rapid breathing. It seems to keep me going. It's not easy either way. This is survival in the Andes Mountains. Survival on the way to the Qoyllur Rit'i festival. Now you can call it what you like. When you look over a view like this and know that you've come up from the bottom, no matter what, it's a cleansing experience. You can call it spiritual, you can call it emotional, you can call it physical. One way or another, 140 kilometers, 135 of it are nearly straight uphill. You've gone through a cleansing experience. I'm going to pick up a rock before I get to the top. In this way, it's like you're thanking the spirit of the mountain for giving you the strength to make it all the way to the top.
It's a good and respectful practice, no matter where you are on the earth. Oh, this is finally the top of the mountain here. So it's very important that I place my stone here in this pile to show my respect. You have to see this. I'm not sure words can describe it, so here you go. That's incredible. So that's the main festival. If I look down here, a long, snaking stream of people still coming, still arriving. I came up from the other direction, the other side of the mountain, nearly 140 kilometers, mostly uphill, with my teachers, the Andean priests, infusing me with power all along the way. And these people are coming full of faith, full of their own energy, the direct side of the mountain, straight into the Qoyllur Rit'i festival. My guide and teacher through all of this, from the Keros Nation, the Andean priest Humberto, is just sitting there, alone, taking it all in. Buenas tardes, Humberto. Mucho Keros? Mucho Keros, no un poquito, mucho Keros.
Don Humberto has taught me everything he can. It's now time for me to join the Ukuku. No one can tell me what to expect because no outsider has ever done it before.
Snow's coming down. Look at it down there. It's just at least doubled its size, if not quadrupled its size. I'm talking about survival as a way of life. Look at this place down here. You come down to it. It's a stone hut. They've scored themselves some blue plastic for the roof. They're way up high here, above the Qoyllur Rit'i festival. This isn't where they come for the festival. This is where they live. This is hardcore survival in the high Andes Mountains. Living the dream, living the dream. You know, there's a lot of things you can get at this festival that you need for the festival, for your offerings and all the rest of it. But this one takes the cake here. Oh, sí, sí. ¿Cuánto cuesta?
Esto es 5 soles.
5 soles.
Sí.
Donkey, ¿cuánto cuesta?
Esto está 100 soles.
100 soles.
Sí,
100
para
soles.
adorno de la casa.
Ah, sí, okay. Okay. For the low price of $30, you can have yourself a donkey head. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna buy it and I'm not gonna eat it. No, 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 no.
In the tradition of the Inca, the Andean people trek yearly to Qoyllur Rit'i to pray to the mountain spirit for good health in the coming year, to participate in its magical economy. It's believed that the mountain is a power spot for manifesting the things that you want in your life, to ask for greater material wealth, a car, a bigger house, even a husband or wife.
This area here is the area where people live out their dreams. This is they call it the playing ground. They come here and they build their homes, they have their cars. This is where they hope to manifest their dreams. And there will be hundreds and hundreds of these all around here. The unfortunate byproduct of so many people have to have a place to relieve themselves. And here, it really doesn't exist. As we used to say in camping, watch out for the minefield.
The Andean people don't feel a contradiction between their devotion to Pachamama and their devotion to the Catholic traditions, or any religious traditions. Because they feel they're connected to a divine sacredness that goes beyond symbols.
This is the Qoyllur Rit'i festival at night, and dressed differently now. I'm dressed as an Ukuku. These people are the protectors of Pachamama. They are the police of the Qoyllur Rit'i festival. They keep everyone in line. They keep everything going proper and safe. They clean up afterwards, but the main thing is to go up on top of the glacier and to spend the night on the glacier. And what used to happen is they would come down with a chunk of ice in their arms. And for whatever reason, some say global warming, they've stopped bringing the ice down. They simply come down at dusk. And the crowd, the entire Qoyllur Rit'i festival waits for the Ukukus to come down off the mountain. And that's my mission tonight. I'm going up as an Ukuku.
But it's tough. I have to get through a very thick crowd to try to get to my group of Ukukus. There's nearly 50 groups of Ukukus, each with 5 to 10 Ukukus that go up onto the glacier. I have to find my group in this crowd on my way up there.
Most of the Ukukus are under 30 years old because this ritual is meant for young men to prove their power and bravery. And above all else, to firmly establish that the young male warrior power is directed in service to the community. Part of my testing will be the painful whipping battles the Ukuku warrior must participate in.
Many of them are here with great faith. They're here to leave their prayers, they're here to leave their dreams. They're here to seek the blessing of Qoyllur Rit'i. They're here to touch the holy water. There's a spring here with holy water. And of course to go and see the rock of Jesus, the Christ rock, where it's said that he has left his imprint.
It may be difficult for me to understand, coming from a vastly different culture. But I'm not seeing anything to do with Mother Earth and protecting her. What I am seeing is powerful Spanish Catholicism, deeply religious symbols, a near manic sense of Catholic spiritual power. But the Andean people don't make a distinction between their spiritual practices. They don't care how you pray, just so long as you do. Don Humberto and the high priests are sitting somewhere below at the Stone of Quero, because that's what the elders do. This show of dancing, celebrating, and Catholic worship is for the young. It's for the Ukukus. The Ukukus police the thousands of people who've gathered here, wearing masks to protect their identities. Tonight, my job as an Ukuku will be put to the ultimate test. The shows of dancing and agility eventually will lead to the whipping battles. And at first I'm asked to police them, making sure they don't go too far. Then it's my turn. These whips are real, and the target is the back of the calf. Pain is real too, and sometimes blood can be drawn. The last stage is running the gauntlet.
Now begins the hike up the mountain to the glacier. First thing we have to do is I gotta navigate through all the human feces everywhere. Follow some of the other Ukukus. We're going to meet up at the foot of the glacier and make our way up.
The climb up the mountain is one long procession with thousands of Ukukus climbing 3 different glaciers. And while I struggle hard to catch my breath, they play flutes and laugh and dance, talk in high-pitched voices to conceal their identity. It's no secret that I'm here and climbing the trail. They've seen my face and know I'm the only outsider to ever join the Ukukus and take part in the climb. And they let me begin the grueling, cold, and long hike to the top.
With my guide, we've been waiting got to a certain point on the hill. I had to wait a long, long time, long enough to get real cold, real chilled. And I think finally now we're heading up. Here we go.
The tradition is that the Aukus must go to the highest point they can reach on the glacier and cut the biggest chunk of ice they can carry. This symbolizes their unity with the Apu. They must then carry this chunk of sacred ice back to the villages to be melted down and become holy water for blessings and healings. Global warming has caused this most central part of the ritual to be forbidden. It's taken me 90 miles on foot just to get here, and suddenly there's a problem. 2 men are telling me I can't go any farther. I'm forbidden to make the final pilgrimage to the glacier's edge. After all I've been through to get here, they say it's too secret for me to continue onto the glacier.
So that up there is everyone on the glacier. Can you see them? Yeah. There's the lineup. And I've been denied access. And I don't have a good reason for it. Typical politics. Typical politics, that's all I can say. Big couple of buffoons out there. Not only want me not to get any closer to film, want us to get down and go away, I guess. They're not doing Pachamama very proud today. They're lost. And I'm done.
Just when I think it's all over, they call me back. The mayor's been told about my journey, about the many miles I've walked and tests I've endured. In a sudden change of heart, he gives me a bear hug of welcome. But all of this has cast doubt in my mind about what I'm about to discover. The spirituality of the Inca feels lost. The tradition has been radically altered in the past few years due to global warming. Without cutting the chunks of ice, this part of the ritual, the original meaning of the Aukus initiation, has been lost. What I've discovered here instead is simple. The youth Catholic baptism, with the tradition of being whipped while looking up at a statue of Christ. How does this ceremony heal the disharmony between humanity and nature? Here on the glacier's edge, I'm asked to kneel before the cross and receive my baptism, a whipping for my sins. I do it, but I don't get it. Where is the connection to Mother Earth? The ritual has been degraded with the forbidding of the cutting of the ice. Now the Aukus are going more with the Catholic aspects and away from the original intentions. An Aukus man who entered the mountain in front of me kneeled down in the snow and asked the Lord of Qoyllur to heal him, as he was almost blind. And he washed his eyes with the snow of Qoyllur with much faith, saying, "If the doctors can't heal me, I know the Lord of Qoyllur can do it." That's the attitude of the old days, and that's what's being lost now. I realize Don Humberto's prayers are for his people as much as my own. The remnants of a great Inca civilization are here, but the consciousness does not seem to be. What will the future of the Inca culture be? Can the spiritual lessons taught to me by the Q'ero high priests reharmonize humans with the earth? Can this knowledge lead us beyond survival? The Mentawai live in the jungles of an island called Siberut, the largest of 4 major islands located off the west coast of Sumatra in Indonesia. My journey starts at the main port called Muara Siberut. Dirty and polluted. From here I'll travel 10 hours by boat to the heart of the remote jungle island where the Mentawai live in family clans and longhouses called umas. The Mentawai culture have survived for centuries because they've always lived in balance with their surroundings.
An intense Indonesian heat, sun, and ridiculously polluted waters headed out of this little port village here on the way into the jungle now. It's going to be a 10-hour journey up this jungle river, and I'm just going to hope that at some point the water gets a little cleaner.
imagine when we get out of this little estuary village that it does. And then it's just jungle all the way up.
There are times when heading upstream is almost impossible. The river becomes too shallow unless they get the normal jungle rains. But like everywhere else on the planet, the climate is changing here too. Known for their teeth filing and tattooing, the Mentawai live deep in the jungle, yet only a day from civilization. Another culture straddling the knife edge of primitive existence and modern cultural assimilation.
So it's getting a little intense. We're in a smaller part of the river now. We have to keep getting out and get over logs, over sandbars, over rocks. So it's becoming a bit of a job. But that sun's not helping.
Called pong-pongs because of the sound, the motors have propellers on a long pole so they can carefully navigate shallow waters like these.
Some serious dark clouds off in the distance there. One side of the sky is pure blue, beautiful, and the other side is black with thunderclouds.
Like so many remote cultures, the Mentawai who continue to live in the jungle are looked upon as savages by the outsiders, many of whom themselves have Mentawai ancestry. I'm here to share in their shaman system of tattooing and trance dancing to connect with the animal spirit world.
All right, finally. Pulling into the camp here.
Hello, 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 hello. Aloita, aloita, aloita.
I've met up with the Mentawai. They're going to take me into their little village in the jungle here. Tarocha is the main, he's my main dude. He's the shaman with the Mentawai. So he apparently is thrilled that I'm here.
Each family clan is known by their uma, or longhouse. Families of the same clan live together, sleeping row upon row in huts made by machetes. I'm here to learn of Tarocha's ways and to take part in shaman ceremonies. He considers me as somewhat of a traveling shaman. It was a way for him to understand why I would want to actually take part in the Mentawai way of life. Tarocha will play host to me and some other Mentawai shamans from other clans who are on their way here to join in a trance dance ceremony and to connect with me. But first, to prove my worth and show the integrity of my intentions, I'll head out on an overnight trek into the jungle on a hunt for monkeys. They've never had an outsider willing to go the distance with them on an activity that is at the base of their jungle existence. Then I'll hopefully earn the right to receive a tattoo, but not without first earning their respect.
Amanipa hunts monkeys about once a week, not always successful. Maybe once a month they're successful. We have a long way to go. It's going to be overnight, so we're leaving the little village and heading out.
A lot of these trails here are well worn. Problem is, that's years of walking in bare feet. My hikers are wide enough that they don't even fit in the little tracks that all their bare feet have made over the years. So you try to be quiet when you're hunting with someone who's hunting in bare feet and you have hikers on or boots on. It's just impossible. So I've got to employ as much stealth as I possibly can, because these guys, other than talking, barely make a sound going through the jungle. Closet water, fine.
We're taking a short break, likely for my benefit.
After a break of about half an hour, we're off and running. Again, that's a long ways up. What's really interesting is dealing with 3 generations of Mentawai here. Tarocha, the eldest, and the shaman. Amanipa, the strong hunter, the apprentice. Jacobus. Jacobus represents the hope that their traditions and their culture will survive. This time we can hear the monkeys that we want. They're off in the distance.
The Mentawai are losing their territory to government decisions and the encroachment of the outside world. As a result, we've had to travel far to find an old hunting spot with available game.
This might be where we're stopping for the night. But I'm certainly going to want to spruce it up. Just a small problem here. This place is crawling with leeches. And, I just asked Tarocha if they're a problem. He said, yeah, they're a problem for sure. As soon as he saw one on himself, he pulled it off right away. And they're everywhere. Just these little tiny leeches. Asked me if they go into the skin. He said, yes, yes. Okay, you feel? Okay. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
This jungle has plenty of snakes, scorpions, and leeches. Not quite as filled with deadly creatures like it is in the Amazon, but there's still plenty to watch out for. The Mentawai believe that everything that exists has a soul. Human beings, but also animals, plants, and the natural surroundings. Before using anything, permission must be asked. They are true animists.
Now we're settled up in here. The dogs are with us. I'm not sure if it's because we're settled here now so we can do an early morning hunt for the monkeys, or if we're just pausing and we're going to go later. Big time language barrier.
Brought in from the Uma, or caught fresh from the jungle stream when I wasn't looking, I'm not sure which. Tarocha has cooked fish in bamboo for lunch. Like rice in Asia, sago is the main food of the Mentawai. The chewable sticks made of flour from the kneaded pulp of the sago palms.
I have absolutely no idea what I'm eating other than sago dipped in some kind of fish stuff.
Harmony between one's soul and the natural earth is a guiding principle in their lives. They also strive to maintain balance with their own clans and close neighbors as well. There are no chiefs, so it's each individual's responsibility to maintain spiritual and social balance. Without the shamans, there would be no one to turn to for guidance.
Well, sleeping here tonight, I'll have to watch out for a lot of ants. Some of them pack a big wallop, but mostly I've got to watch out for leeches. Leeches here, they're small, but they burrow into your skin really quickly. And I remember hearing a story. A guy was in the jungle like this. It was an adventure race over the radio. And this call comes in and says, yeah, this guy's here, and he says he just watched a leech disappear up his urethra. He wants to know what to do. The killer part of that story is the answer. He said, well, it's okay. It'll engorge itself with blood and then it'll leave. You just have to wait. I'm doing my pants up tight tonight.
I'm in the middle of the Indonesian jungle with 3 Mentawai shamans on a hunt for monkeys.
Nobody's really eaten anything all day long except a few sticks of sago and fish.
One of their beliefs is actually that they don't like to take too much food when they go hunting because it takes their mind off the fact that they're hunting. They want to be hungry in the hunt. It turns out they've actually brought sort of a makeshift cotton tent. And we're all in here together. One big happy family, and this guy wants to snuggle. Yeah.
The rain has been coming down for hours. In fact, all night long. And this doesn't bode well for hunting. And these Mentawai know exactly what to do for survival when the weather is bad. Save your energy. On Siberut, there are rare types of monkey and lots of species of plants that exist nowhere else. A large chunk of traditional Mentawai hunting grounds have been designated as a national wildlife park. And this has made hunting more difficult and the treks into the jungle further and longer for the clans. We've decided we could have better luck if we split into 2 groups and circle around each side of the jungle mountain. So Tarocha and I stopped briefly to gather vine for binding a pig they've trapped for us to pick up on the way back to the village. The pig will be part of the celebration feast for my tattooing and the animal spirit trance ceremony. It will be a gathering of Mentawai shamans and myself in a ritual to reharmonize with the animal spirits and come into balance with them and the natural world.
This is a pretty jungly jungle.
As the cicadas of the jungle screech all around us, Tirocha spots a couple of monkeys fleeing in the trees.
Well, I just found out that those little leeches hurt. They start to dig into your skin right away. Blood mark from pulling it. Just a tiny little leech, but man, they hurt. So no luck. It's a couple of monkeys, but they made their way out of here. At least we know they're here. I'm assuming that's the sound of cicadas in the background. It's pretty intense. It's in every jungle. And they get loud. Tirocha and I have basically just completed a big circle in the jungle, looping around. I'm actually back on our original trail and headed back towards the other two. They've done the same thing in the other direction. That's the new workout program I'm designing.
The rains return, and Tirocha and I have made it back to the shelter before the others. It gives us the opportunity to do what shamans do. Connect with the natural spirit world. When Tirocha sings, he's harmonizing his spirit with the jungle and the animal spirits around him. It's a Mentawai tradition to seek balance with their surroundings through song. It's not only respectful for me to learn his songs and for he to learn mine, it's vital to our relationship.
Peace of mind, always.
We're just getting ourselves ready to leave. Amanipa has come back and nothing. So we've been out here hunting for nearly 2 full days and have seen maybe 3 monkeys. We've come a long way and we've got a long way to go back and we're going back empty-handed. Not a good omen for the ceremony, but they'll carry on nonetheless.
Mita.
Mita. And away we go. This is a long, hard slog going back up. Turning you off.
It's not a good sign that we had an unsuccessful hunt, and it leaves me wondering if Tirocha will remain agreeable to my involvement in the trance ceremony and receiving a tattoo. Trekking through the thick jungle on a long and arduous journey, we finally meet up with some others to pick up one of their domesticated pigs for the trance ceremony. The pigs actually wander freely in the jungle and have to be re-trapped, caught for feasts and special occasions.
Oh, this is pretty rank. It stinks here. Oof. This is kind of disgusting. This looks like it's going to be a treat. Apparently, right beside the pig here is sago worms. Wonderful, juicy, tasty larvae. I can't wait. So the shaman are actually not allowed to eat the larvae.
It's tradition. You can't eat anything that isn't sacrificed or prepared specifically for the anticipated ceremony. And today, this includes grubs.
He's not allowed to have it. The kids love it. It's like, all right, I'm in. Okay, okay. Oh, that's disgusting.
I'm on the island of Siberut with a tribe called the Mentawai. I'm about to share in a jungle delicacy, sago larva.
I'll take it. I can eat it. I'm not afraid. Here, give me that sucker. Did he just eat the whole thing? I don't. Oh, That's disgusting. I bet you it tastes good. So this is the sago larva. This is a treat for these guys. The kid ate his first because it's a treat. I just can't eat the head. Okay. Okay, me and you. Me and you.
Mananam. Mananam.
Mananam.
Mananam.
Yeah, I'm just saying that.
Mananam.
That means delicious.
Mananam amatsaido.
You know, I've had better.
Mananam.
You know how you chew that last piece of grizzle and you can't swallow it, but it's still in your mouth and you just keep chewing and then you're looking around for the bread on the table? This is one of those moments. Oh. Oh man.
Mananam.
Mananam. Delicious. That's the sago larva. Didn't it look delicious? Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I feel like carrying a big fat pig on my shoulders now.
A few miles from the Uma longhouse, we now have to bind a large pig trapped alive and get him back for the trance ceremony.
This pig is not happy at all. He's sunk down into the muck and they're trying to lift up his rump end so they can get a noose around his legs, and when they do, all hell's gonna break loose. I think they're gonna get him right now. Oh no, his leg's exposed. Here we go. Oh man. So they're actually binding the 2 feet together just outside the cage here. It really stinks, and this is a disgusting place. They have a lot of problems getting hookworms in their body through their feet because of activities like these. It's easy to underestimate how powerful these animals can be. Pigs can be very strong, and this one is just going to want to bite, and bite. Get some nasty, gnarly teeth, so the bindings on the feet have to be extremely tight.
The pig is carried and kept alive until they're ready for the sacrifice. Pigs and roosters are as close as it gets to non-jungle-oriented survival for these Mentawai. And the pigs are the main form of currency. It's the pigs that are used as payment for apprenticing shamans. But acquiring them is extremely difficult and poses the first of many obstacles that young boys like the one helping me carry the pig face if they want to become shamans.
Yep. I'd be kind of upset too.
Tarocha's preparations for the trance ceremony and my tattooing are interrupted when he's called to heal a little girl suffering from a serious fever. There are no doctors here, and so Tarocha gathers the plants he needs to effect the healing. Shamans like Tarocha have a lot of responsibility to their own Uma and their surrounding neighbors. Tarocha has to rely on his intimate relationship with the spirit world to heal those who fall sick, while at the same time prevent attack from evil spirits that they believe cause disease. For the Mentawai, the pharmacy is simply the natural world that surrounds them. Jacobus, the young man who took me monkey hunting, and a young boy who wants to become a shaman, are leading me to a place where they've trapped another smaller pig. It's my job to carry it home.
Here. Little pig down in there, he's not happy.
Reality is that there's no point in dispatching the pig right here and right now. They want it to be fresh and ready for the feast, so it looks like I'll carry it back alive so that when they want to dispatch it and prepare it for the ceremony, they can.
I have no idea of knowing just how many brands of fleas are on the back of this pig, or diseases or whatever else. Soon transferring to my back, but I gotta do my part one way or the other. That's not a pleasant job by any stretch of the imagination. Dispatching game for eating purposes, or in this case, ceremonial eating purposes, is never pleasant, no matter which way you slice it. And hey, if you like bacon, okay, you feel?
Yeah.
Good? Okay.
Okay.
Once we make it back to the Uma, the pig will be put in a small pen for an hour or two before being killed. They'll remove the heart and the intestines for the sole purpose of reading the signs the organs have to tell, to seek predictions or guidance.
That's just a quick burn off, just to get rid of the ticks and the bugs and the hair and whatever else is on that pig that they want to get rid of. Burn it all off.
The Mentawai live communally, so everything is shared. It's taboo for one family to eat meat without sharing with the rest of the clan. Since they look at me as a traveling shaman, they offer me the best cuts of the boiled pig. And we sit in the Uma, eating sago palm and pig, and discussing preparations for the trance ceremony. They tell me tomorrow I'll finally receive my Mentawai tattoo. I'm in Indonesia with the Mentawai tribe, and am bonding with a group of shamans on my way to experiencing their tattooing methods and trance ceremony. The sacrifice of a rooster is meant to consolidate and bless the clan. They touch the rooster to everyone's head individually before they sacrifice it to call the spirits. They need me to connect with the spirit of the rooster as a request to have me take part in their ceremony. The Mentawai believe hearts and intestines conceal messages, and the shamans spend years learning how to read them.
So he's reading the intestines of the chicken right now. You can tell by the intensity of his face that he's taking this really seriously. He's really examining the intestines.
Only shamans can read these omens and know whether they're bad or good. Three shamans discuss the signs until they can agree on the meaning. They say they can see my visit in the reading of the heart. It's taken as a good omen that the spirits are happy. I'm here to learn and share in their ways. This morning, Tarocha prepares the mixture needed for tattooing. To make ink, they mix sugarcane juice with black soot scraped from their pots and pans. For the Mentawai, ink markings and plant adornment have the purpose of making their bodies look attractive so that the good spirits will inhabit them and won't feel the need to leave. They use an old semi-sharp needle or rusty nail sharpened on a rock. This is a young shaman apprentice. The Mentawai tradition originally is that only shamans are tattooed. As they grow older, the tattoos continue down their bodies in stages until, as a full-grown man and shaman, they finish with an ankle bracelet style tattoo. This young boy wants very much to become a shaman, and is willing to undergo the pain and dedication it takes to do so. But boys like him are rare now. Not far away, the distraction of the outside world gets louder every year. In a day or two, it'll be my turn to feel the sting of the tattoo nail.
Fishing for small fish is an absolute staple for the Mentawai here. The women have gone up ahead of me. I'm just catching up to them. They're going to show me how they pull fish from these tiny little creeks.
While we wait for a couple more shamans to arrive from deeper in the Indonesian rainforest, the women of the clan have asked if they can show me their own ways of survival in the jungle. They make themselves skirts out of banana leaves because this is the traditional attire to go fishing in. The Mentawai have always dressed in leaves and plants, though lately they opt for more modern clothing for their day-to-day activities. Gathering food like this is not meant to be long-term. It's simply for the day's food, or an immediate meal. Streams can replenish the supply of shrimps and small fish daily, making a quick bite easy. Life for the Mentawai women has changed a lot in recent years. As the clans get smaller, men have started taking 2 or 3 wives. This was never their way in the past, and it's troubling for women. As mothers, they put very few restrictions on their children. Mentawai children are expected to watch their parents and learn their role within the Ummah, based on gender. This makes for a slippery slope into assimilation with the outside world, should the next generation choose to not follow the traditional ways. The fishing continues into the night, and we use torches not to attract fish, but to simply make it easier to see.
This plant here is full of resin, so it gets a fairly good burn going on.
The Mentawai rarely fish when the moon is full or it's raining. The catch is just too poor at those times.
As long as the torch burns bright, it's not so hard. Basically, classic night fishing using the torch. Just so many of the aquatic creatures, crabs, crayfish, shrimp, even fish. They're so much mellower at night. When you use a torch, you can get pretty close to them. Increase your chances of catching, so that's all this really is. Same type of fishing that you can find all around the globe. Going out at night with a torch.
Though now the women aren't wearing their leaf skirts, they still carry the hollow bamboo shafts on their backs for stashing the bounty they'll catch from the riverbed.
I have absolutely no idea what they're talking about, but it's a pretty lively discussion. That's what we're looking for. That's a good sized crab. Okay. Meru. Nice, nice. You see the difference in the night fishing. Crabs and these shrimp, much bigger.
Having paid my dues in the jungle and proven to the Mentawai that I come in respect for their ways, the shaman are ready to give me the beginnings of my tattoo. But first, they're asking me about my own Western-style tattoo.
They're like a wild dog in our part of the world called a wolf. 2 wolves. And the moon. And they represent my children. Yeah, my children are wolves.
First, the tattoo is drawn on the skin as a guide, no different from the North American practice. As I am an outsider, getting a tattoo here in this Uma is a big deal to this family clan. They're offering me respect and accepting my respect in return. Tarocha and I have connected on a deeper level through our time together, and he's very pleased to do the work on me. It will ever connect the two of us. The singing is meant to communicate with the spirits and to seek their acceptance of my process. The women often keep a close eye out for the quality and placement of the tattoo and have no problems voicing any concerns that the men aren't doing it quite right.
Just like getting a regular tattoo, or that is a modern style tattoo. There comes a point in tattooing where it hurts, okay, but what it more is really annoying, and you just you want to say, okay, enough already, and you know you can't stop because they have to finish the design, and it's just that constant annoying pain that normally you would stop them from doing.
Tarocha is quite possibly the last shaman of this Uma, so the honor of receiving a tattoo from him is great. Surrounded by the clan, I can feel the excitement and the energy in the air as I share in this tradition. This Mentawai tradition is a devotion to personal beautification, preening their bodies, filing their teeth, and inscribing tattoos to honor the beauty in the landscape that surrounds them and the spirit that lives within.
There are some meanings and some stories behind the tattoos. Too often, in an anthropological sense, we try to put way too much meaning on certain things that various indigenous cultures do. It's the same thing here with the Mentawai and their tattooing. It has meaning, but it may not necessarily be super deep, super metaphysical, and super spiritual as we want to assign to it. It could simply be design, and nothing more.
A visiting shaman wants a turn at tattooing me, as he's still in training, but his hit is much harder than Tarocha's when it comes to making sure the nail is breaking through my skin. Unfortunately for me, he's not paying attention to how much ink paste he's using.
First time around, they did the entire design, didn't put enough ink into the skin. So they've redrawn over it, and he's redoing the tattoo, puncturing into the holes that are already punctured. This time, hopefully with enough ink. Do you know what it's like to, re-stab an injury? That's what's happening.
Following the tattooing, we'll prepare for the Mentawai trance dance ceremony. I'm on the island of Sibaru with the Mentawai and receiving a shaman tattoo. It's an occasion for celebration, and the elder women of the clan have decided that my hairy chest and red nipples are something to laugh about. The pain of the nail is only temporary, but these markings of acceptance into the Mentawai clan are permanent. And I'm beginning to understand why they like to give a nice place for their spirits to live. It is, after all, only flesh, and it will heal. In this hot and humid place, the tattoos must be rubbed with medicinal leaves to prevent infection.
Alipa. That means finished. We're done. So the traditional Mentawai tattoos in place tells the story of their connection to the sun. The story is that the sun was too close. It was burning people. So they shot arrows to push the sun away. And the tattoo, the markings of the story, so they always remember that story. So the children remember, they remember their connection to the sun. And it'll probably connect me to their tribe forever and a day. If I were to show up here even 5-10 years from now, they're going to see those tattoos and they'll know this is part of what they do and part of how they live and their beliefs. And that hurt.
The tattooing complete, it's time for the trance dance ceremony. The purpose of these ceremonies is not unlike the same purpose in other ceremonies around the world. To bring harmony between these humans and the earth itself, between the Mentawai and the natural world in which they live.
Yeah, just getting ready for more ceremony here. The women are being done up beautifully with their headdresses. The poles put out front to let people know that there's a ceremony going on here, that they're not to come in. There's 2 poles to show that there's 2 pigs sacrificed in the ceremony. That's kind of like a wedding preparation in a way. Hopefully we don't end this day finding out that I got married without knowing it. But it's still vital and important ceremonies for them. It's the one type of thing that brings them together as a people. It creates a community where there is none, which is hard to come by. So these types of ceremonies are held in high esteem because of that.
Any evil spirits that may be present have to be chanted, sang, and danced away, including any bad spirits within the pig itself. This way the pig becomes fit to eat. Tarocha and the visiting shamans sing and ring the bells to call the spirits to the ceremony, to welcome them and bear witness to the sacrifice that is being performed for them.
Finally, everything's been prepared and they're going through having the feast. Everything is set out very evenly so that everyone is perfectly fed. Nobody's missed in the feast at all. The people who are not shamans are eating outside of this room in their separate family clans. Here the shamans eat together and they allow me, kind of like a traveling shaman, to sit in and eat with them. And in this way, the community stays strong, the belief stays strong, the friendships and connections, especially the connections to the spirit world, stay strong, and the culture stays strong.
The feast completed, it's time for the all-night-long trance ceremony. The men fully adorn themselves, and the intensity is about to heat up. Like the tattoo, the dance is influenced by the shaman who performs it, taking on his own style or spirit. The stomping of the feet and the bell ringing all serve to intensify the emotion. It eventually sends one of the shaman into a trance. He falls to the floor, convulsing, while the young men run to his side to protect him from injury. This visiting shaman said he was struck by the vision of a spirit dancing beside him, and he was overcome. As the ceremony continues, there are more sacrifices. There is yet another reading of the signs in pig, as well as rooster intestines. I've been asked to join in, and we dance to the animal spirits. Monkeys, wildcats, birds. We connect with the spirits through mimicry. Tattooed, painted, and adorned with flowers, I've trance danced in deserts and jungles. I've tasted the plant medicines of people from across the globe, and I've felt the energies of the earth rip through my spine and manifest as greater understanding. The Mentawai are just about as primitive as it gets on this planet, and in their lack of progress, they retain a connection to the natural world that my culture has lost. They retain a balance and harmony that I and my civilized world can only envy. But can we do more? Can we take the lessons of the remote Earth cultures and heal the disharmony of our own society? Can we learn from the last indigenous people how to regain our balance of a natural, sustainable life? Can we get past their primitive appearances and learn from them how to go beyond survival?
My soul, teach me my role, help me to know what I'm here for. Oh, Father, Son, fill me with life, peace in my mind, warmth in my soul and my body. Oh, Mother Earth, I hear you calling. Oh, Mother Earth, I'm searching for you. My ground. My head is your sky. We need to know you are living